Warning. This show contains content intended for adult audiences. The language is crass at best and downright insulting most of the time. This is all made for the sake of comedy and poor sophomoric taste. The skits are parodies, and any similarity to real people or stories is purely coincidental. Any insults hurled at any one human is made in jest. We're just covering our bases for when one of you skins your knee on an internet insult. We love you. Again, this is all a joke, whether you laugh or not. Not just the show, but this waking existence. The great cosmic giggle. Try not to take it seriously.
Should you ever be confronted with the temptation of taking that first puff of a marijuana cigarette, don't do it.
I don't know about you, but as for me, the question has already been answered. Should we be here? Yes.
The business of culture, any culture, is to perpetuate its cultural models. And if the hallucinogenic plants have not been integrated into the cultural model, then they are definitely seen as dangerous forces for an unpredictable sort of social change.
Welcome, ladies, gentlemen, non-binary, sentient artificial intelligence, comedians, and comedians. Is there anybody that
I think that covers all the bases.
Covers all that pretty much covers flora, fauna, fungi. Wherever you fit into this whole little biomass equation that is currently taking place in this multiverse. Welcome to the Hoosier Sophisticate Show, Monday night edition. Seth, we've been at it, bud, like just a hair, just an eyelash, fella, under 3 years.
A day short. Actually, technically, if you think about how numbers work, this is the 3rd year anniversary because there's 365 days. Tomorrow, the day of the anniversary that's the next year. That's the beginning of the next year. Because
we just started on Monday.
People celebrate their anniversaries a day late.
Weekly on Mondays.
Mathematically
That's our
speaking.
deal, right? Weekly on Mondays. So,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, we started
to the
off-
day, yes. We did do Friday nights.
Dude, I really do miss Friday nights.
It was fun.
It was great. And
It was fun,
I drank
but,
at
like,
the
it
time.
also spoke kind of cut into the weekend pretty well too, you know. So, how's everybody doing at home? We've got Seth. You know what I didn't do, pal, and I apologize for this, but I'm just gonna let you be the sheriff on this one. What we got for the people at home, Will? In 3 years, we've had some pretty funny moments on the show, some pretty funny skits. Steve's a madman, and I don't even know what's happening in his brain half the time. But I'm always here for it. So what we figured is we'd have people on the broadcast. We'll ask maybe like some simple questions as they give us a little feedback. We'll give them a number. How many videos we got there? Probably 1, 2. Actually, you know what, Seth? Just to kind of let the people know at home kind of what they're dealing with, and we'll get a count on how many videos we have in there. And there's a bunch that
I'll get you a count here in a second.
Should have made the cut but didn't. But why don't we let the people know who maybe don't know who we are? Maybe we show them who are the Hoosiers. Maybe that's kind of what I'm thinking. Just to kind of anybody that doesn't know, give them an idea. Kill those mics and let it sing.
Who the Hoosiers is?
Who are the Hoosiers? been maybe the first thing that Steve made right whenever we were coming to WGNU 920. He's got some real directorial talent, that one. Guys, I like to let you sit and wonder, like, who's that handsome guy next to Craig? As if you guys don't already know that this is perhaps the funniest guy in the world. I would say in the world, because it doesn't make sense to call it regional. You know, somewhere you're somebody's funniest guy in the world.
You're the funniest guy on this block.
Only
for
to
sure.
my mama.
Yeah, you're somebody's
mama
funniest
thinks
guy.
I have
This
talent.
is comedian Will O'Donnell. Everybody, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Stop it.
Yep.
Stop it.
Willie, how you doing, buddy?
I'm good, Craig. Good to be here.
You know,
Thank you.
we're just. I always enjoy having you in. You really are one of my favorite comedians going. I'm a big fan, and we're gonna have some fun nights. Seth, I don't think he's paid attention to either me or Steve for the last 3 years. Like, I don't think he's heard anything that we've done. He's there, and he's always like,
For a while now.
yeah, he's there, but he's like, fuck, I can't hear the same conversation over. But in him thinking that all of them are the same conversations, he's missed some very important details in my life. And I was talking today, and he was completely blown away. Like,
I don't know why, but
like
it
he
got
had
me.
never heard in his life that I built limousines in a former life, which I've talked about a great deal because it was a pretty solid chunk of my life. Seth had no idea, but it prompted him to, kind of bring up just past jobs, funny things that happened to past jobs. Like, I don't know about you. I don't know if have you ever had like a production, like a factory job of any sort, or like working with the crew. It's the same crew every day for the most part. It's ours, in our case, it was skilled labor. Like, it wasn't like we weren't like putting like rivets in shit. Like, we were building stuff, but it was still, at the end of the day,
That makes a big difference.
we were.
I
Oh,
would
no
think.
doubt. Yeah, as far as just, I had a buddy that worked in a pickle factory one summer, and then in a mustard and just like. He's
Production
like,
on the line, just
putting
boredom.
stuff in packets,
Right, like tolerate this for 2 hours, and then you get to take a break, and then tolerate it for another 2 hours, and you get to take a break, then 2 more hours to take a break, and then 2 more hours, then you get to go home.
It's like a legit,
like,
just
3 days
fixed
in, you're
program.
like, oh my god,
Fixed program. So
I haven't had too many jobs like that.
I haven't had any.
I've done it
I haven't had
for a
many.
day or
like,
two.
The assembly line that I worked on still required us all kind of having our own agency a little bit, as far as like how we completed our tasks.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't have like a manual to. I mean, within reason. The end result had to be the same. However you got there the quickest and most efficient. It's pretty great. Until like that rule gets loose and fast, and then you're fixing a bunch of other people's shit because they're not really. Anyway, neither here nor there. But working in that kind of environment is, to me, it was like really fun. Like, there's a lot of camaraderie about it. The pay fucking sucked, but it was like, truly, we had pretty much a family. Like, we're all gonna show up every day, handle kind of what we got to handle, and and go on about it. And then every other Friday or something, we'll all get together and sing karaoke or something. And I had a really great.
That ends up being who you spend all your time with.
No
And
doubt.
it's like the job might suck, but it's like, old Bill and Joe.
Yeah,
I
but
miss
the
those old
relationships
guys.
are great.
Those are the people that made it suck.
Right.
Fuck Bill,
Well,
fuck Bill and Joe. I couldn't
guys
get
too.
far enough away from them fast enough.
Okay, well, that seems pretty extreme.
Coworkers are what make jobs suck.
What was
Seth's
your
that guy.
What was your hardest? Yeah, you clearly were a blast to work with. So.
I'm a great coworker. People
would
love
think
me.
you are. So let me ask you, what is the worst job you ever had?
Well, I was thinking about this one day I spent talking about doing something repetitive. Took a piece of tubing, stuck it in a machine, stepped on a pedal, and went and bent it into a U shape. And it was like, we need all these made. And I did that for a day and a half. I stood there, put a piece in there, stepped on the foot pedal, and I was like, man, there are people who work like this.
Totally. Dude, I was watching. You ever seen like there's a documentary called, there's two of them actually. There's one's called Samsara, the other one's called
Yeah,
Baraka.
I've seen Samsara.
And like there's a couple different points in this visual documentary with no words, and kind of showing all these different cultures and how they live. Like, they go through like some of these Asian factories where they're making motherboards or something. And it's
mesmerizing to watch, isn't it?
As you could see.
Unbelievable,
it's like
isn't
a
it?
stadium of people, and every single one of them like is standing like this all day. Like I'm thinking about it, just me. Like if I'm working on something like this for like a little while, like whatever, I'm tinkering, fixing a weed eater or something. If I'm sitting like this for a while, like that. You know, I'm called that. It gets called to my attention after maybe an hour or something. Like, oh man, I need to kind of straighten up, dude. All day long, 10 hours a day, soldering a point.
Brutal.
That's like when those people. I don't think it would be hard to convince.
We picked
them.
the right decade to have a capitalist fucking.
Oh yeah, to buy everything and not build anything.
You're right. Well, it's good to be on the dying end of the empire.
No doubt.
It is.
No, it's not a bad spot to be. It's not a bad. Now our kids.
Sorry, kids.
Good luck.
Arm up. Save some Denny Moore stew. I don't know. You roam the countryscape.
Jesse says, "Let me know when you've cleaned the puke out of the tank of a toilet at Pops." I can't even imagine that is like a little bit of vomit either. Like Pops. But
I'm gonna want to go in there with some industrial chemicals and like a suit.
I'm going
just
to
like
hazmat
soak
suit.
it down.
Yep.
Power wash it.
Look like Bill Murray in the pool at
Yeah.
Caddyshack, you know, where he gets like the baby Ruth.
I did that one summer. I cleaned the bathrooms at the parks.
For
I
real?
worked for the city parks department, and we mowed the grass and cleaned all the
Oh
bathrooms.
Jesus! Well,
People used to blow up some park bathrooms.
dude, buddy.
People used to.
Oh,
People
buddy.
used to do weird stuff to this. Why
buddy,
did
That's the emergency shit capital.
Why did they shit all over the place? Why is it
What's
everywhere?
the deal?
Why is it everywhere?
How is it that people
Did you have
do
a
that?
party? Is this some sort of a game for you? Was this a teenage? I mean, so I just go in there with like chemicals and a garden hose. Thankfully, there's a floor drain. You know, we just wash everything down the floor.
Well, that's nice. That's good.
And then people love to pee on the rolls of toilet paper.
What's the deal? You're an asshole. Just
You're
that
an
person's having a
ass.
bad day.
Oh man,
The person's either having a bad day
you
or
go in there and sit down and you look at those rolls and they're all dry, but you're like,
no way.
come on, man, no, you can't.
You can't do that. You can't do that.
I'm getting
man.
stressed out just talking
Dude,
about it.
I'll tell you.
I don't know.
I had a rough go like that one time. My buddy and I were coming back. We were at this recruiting camp down at OU, and it was awesome, dude. It was like all these kids came from all over the country, and we all like wore like the helmets of our schools and everything. We participated in like this.
You're
week-long
recruiting
camp
for something?
of football. Yeah,
Okay.
for the week-long 3-a-day camp, and it was awesome. Like you broke, and like the way the dorms were split up was super cool, and like there was like obviously this weird like Texas-Oklahoma rivalry thing that was going on. There was like a full-on race riot. They had like
fun.
Yeah. Me and my buddy are like.
I like that was sort of thrown in the
Yeah,
middle
much
somewhere.
like,
You didn't even lead with race riot.
Nothing I want to dwell on. That was the
Right.
worst part. There was like a dorm. There was also a cheerleading camp going on at the same time. So there's like a dorm right next.
Whoa.
Yeah, dude, it's cool, man. Like the girls are putting on a show. It was awesome. Dude,
You guys have a good time?
Yeah, it was a junior in high school. Like it's the fucking greatest thing that could ever happen. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, oh man, there's a whole dorm full of girls getting naked in the windows. Cool.
Wow.
Wonder if their chaperones know that. I'm gonna call them because I'm shutting this down.
Okay.
No. Anyway,
going
so
over there.
it was this
I'm gonna
awesome,
chaperone.
awesome trip. And then after this trip, my buddy hadn't seen his grandpa, his maternal grandfather, for like been several years, and he and his wife lived down in like this little quaint little home down on Lake Texoma. He takes us out fishing for like 2 days,
Where's Lake Texoma? I'm ignorant.
right on the border of Texas and Oklahoma.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
and actually, it was my first time like crossing into Texas via water. I was taking them by sea. Yeah, it was at the time. And so I was like, well, I don't have a fishing pole. He's like, we don't fish with poles around here. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean you don't fish with poles? Who doesn't fish with poles around
This is
here?
Texas,
so
son.
He just opens up this, a couple of crates, and he's got all these bottles rigged up, and we just jug fish.
No.
We drop these jugs. It's
Oh,
like setting
okay.
setting trot lines.
I thought
basically,
you were
know?
about to say this is Texas, son. He just gets out some dynamite, just starts dropping depth charges,
Fucking fish just floats to the top.
put them in the boat.
Dude, we put
God
out like
wanted us to have
28
these
jugs.
fish. This
Yeah.
is Texas. Yeehaw!
Actually, he's from Oklahoma. He's like, fuck them Texans. I'll
Even-
take their fish right now.
Right. Oklahoma is just Texas with more attitude. It's just
yes.
Texas with an inferior complex. You
maybe.
know what I mean?
A little less stuff.
Except they can say it. Fuck Texas. They're like, you're the exact same thing. Shut up.
Yeah, you're the same people.
Right. I love them, by the way. I have a good time in both. I love Texas and
I've
Oklahoma.
spent a great deal of time in both states. Yeah, I had this weird front up towards Texas when I was younger. I don't even know what that was all about. Like, Texas is fucking great. Every time I've gone there,
It's awesome. I think Texas it has the best. Everything that's great and everything that's terrible out of America, it's there in Texas, like turned up to 11.
I'm into it.
You
Like,
know, it's just concentrate. It's just
Yeah.
you know, everything that's cool and also everything that's bad.
Well, I mean,
Texas,
all of their
they got
cities
it.
are like remarkably different too.
That's true.
Like, you know, Dallas is
I haven't spent that much
a
time.
little bit more metropolitan. Like, I don't know, Houston's immense. Like, I have had a lot of fun in Houston.
Houston area wise.
Yeah, it's the largest.
God, 4 hours with traffic. To
It's
get
the
from one
largest
side to the
city
other.
by landmass in the United States, I believe.
What is that? Oklahoma City?
No, Houston.
Houston.
It's the
It's
fourth
like 8 million
largest, isn't it?
Fourth largest city total, like by population, I think, but by landmass, I think it's the largest.
I think
Which-
Dallas is like
I think
fifth or
it's-
sixth
yeah.
if you count Dallas Fort Worth together.
I believe
which they're
Dallas is 9th or 10th.
It's one metropolitan area. It's
Huge. DFW. So anyway, where was I going with that? So I'm coming back from. So we caught a bunch of catfish. That's where I'm going with this. It's a really long way to tell a shit story. So we pull out like 200 pounds of catfish, and like his grandma and grandpa are like they're a machine. They are. I've never seen a cleaning. Prepping fish operation like this. Like this is
That's impressive. That's
you
what
know, like
impresses
those like
me.
really satisfying YouTube videos.
That's what
where you're,
impresses
like-
me.
where
Anybody
you
could,
see, like, the people
anybody
that
could
do
learn
things,
to
like,
catch them.
masterfully.
I want to see you clean them up and prepare them. That's the part I don't want to
they
mess
had a
with.
whole system. We're like,
Yeah.
oh, can we help? They're like, yeah, you can help get the hell out of the way.
Stand and watch and learn something.
Watch and learn something. Exactly.
Maybe I'll ask you to hand me a tool.
Yeah, exactly. So
Thanks, Dad.
anyway, we eat more catfish than is probably, healthy. You know, we're coming off of a long football trip, 3 days, a couple of big boys. We're just trying to eat. We're gonna eat everything we can eat. You know,
Yeah.
ate 30 pounds of catfish wherever we're driving back. And buddy, so, you know, when you get on the turnpike, there are stretches of the turnpike that do not have rest stops for a long time. And we got to this one, and
You got
this,
north of 10 pounds of catfish in
and
your
every
digestive
bit
tract.
of it, every bit of it, just leaning on me, you know. And I'm telling my buddy, I'm like, dude, this is emergent. I don't know how to tell you this, but this is a DEFCON 5 situation. I don't know. At this point, any longer that I hold on is for the grace of God, because I don't have the capacity to hold this anymore.
Oh, man.
I'm dying. It's the
Yeah.
worst I've ever felt in my life.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, we see this thing for like restroom, and like, you know, I catch like a 8th wind by this point. I'm
Yeah.
like, I fucking do it. I can do it. Yeah, doing like the short breath, just kind of sipping some air. And so he pulls off. I'm like, oh, where's this fucking restroom, Super Juice? And it's like this galvanized spiral thing in the middle of this fucking field on the side of the highway, about 100 yards off the side of the road. And
He can't make it.
I just remember like getting there, and it was such a bad. Like, there is no way I would use this place ever in 100 million years.
Yeah.
Except in this situation, I don't have a choice. Like, I do not have a choice. Outside, and for everyone to see driving. Outside of that, like, this is it. Especially now that I've already gotten all the way here. Like,
Yes.
and all I could think about, or the thing that kind of helped me, you know, because somebody in my situation, clearly there's so many people that don't give a fuck how they leave a place. Clearly, I'm sitting in literal a shitstorm at this point, you know. And all I can think about is how, I'm not like sitting on anything. Like, I'm doing like the Spider-Man thing where I can almost
You just
hold myself
hover.
out
Yeah,
on the-
yeah.
I'm doing everything I can to hover. And all I can think about is like, who is the poor person that eventually has to come and clean this up? Now, I don't know if it's been cleaned since 1976. I don't know if it's been used since 1988.
Is it a flushing toilet? We're talking like a camp toilet.
It's just like a latrine, man. Like, it's
Yeah.
just, and who knows how long it's been sitting there in an open Oklahoma. This has gone way too far. All I was thinking about, you're talking about the city bathrooms, and I was thinking about someone who had to do a similar job in the middle of Oklahoma, when really all I should have been thinking about was like, get this done and get the hell out of here. You have no time to worry about that person's plight. They chose this career. What in the hell? Like, this isn't your fault. Anyway.
You gonna take that job away from that man, Craig?
Yeah, I'm not
Shame on you.
I'm not going to take
How
that
dare
job
you.
away from me. I'm not going to do that.
You gonna take his food and medicine away from his kids?
I'll tell you this though, you know, you ever hear about like, you know, don't let the way other people act or react to what you do change like who you are. Like, you know, just continue to do good, no matter.
Yeah.
And when I think about that, I'm like, man, I tried really hard. Or I did. Like, I maintained. Not only to, like, make sure that I was safe, but also that I didn't make this person's job any harder than it had to be. Like,
Right.
I went out of my way amidst the world falling to pieces around me to make sure that, like, I wasn't contributing to that.
Backbone of civilization right there, Craig.
That's how this thing...
Just a fucking modicum of respect is all it takes, folks. You know? Just don't shit on the toilet. Shit in the toilet.
You want to see in the world.
Get all the shit in the toilet, and if you miss, clean up after yourself.
Just clean it back. No one's even there to judge you. Just clean it up.
Right.
You know? You don't have to be so ashamed that you run away flailing. Like, I missed.
And don't be a terrorist and piss on the roll of toilet paper. That's terrorism.
That is
You
terrorism.
should do time in Guantanamo for that shit. And track those people down.
Seth, what's the worst job you ever had, bud?
Dude, one thing that comes to mind is
Besides producing
my
the show.
first year of school.
Easily.
Yeah,
Yeah, easily.
yeah, it can be a blast. Craig doesn't pay me anything.
No, I don't fucking
No, but really, one thing that comes to mind, my first year of college, I was going to a community college, and I worked at a dry cleaner, laundromat, like drop-off place on weekends. And, oh, my God, it was disgusting. It was a fucking terrible place to work. Like,
Because the clothes were disgusting? The
oh
dirty
my
clothes?
God, dude! Somebody dropped like the worst
Dirty,
thing.
filthy clothes?
I was gonna build up to this, but the worst thing that
You got another
anybody's
poop
ever
story?
dropped off. The worst thing anybody's ever.
Sorry about poop.
Worst thing anything. The worst thing anybody's ever dropped off was just like 200 pounds of laundry saturated in cat piss. Like we had to wear masks and gloves. I always wore gloves, but we just sort through all this
Could
laundry.
you even get that to stop smelling like cat piss?
No,
Like,
and we
nothing in
charge by
world.
the pound. These people brought in several bags of this shit. I'm like, you could buy a washer and dryer for what this is going to
that
cost.
stuff's that stuff's
Yeah, I'll tell you
No,
what,
there would
though,
be
like-
bloody. I'd have bloody panties. I've had a guy drop off underwear, just straight shit his pants. It's like, hey, clean this for me. Like,
But
and
like,
he just,
hold on,
he
but
just
like, did
puts
he
it
give-
with the rest of
hang
the
on.
laundry.
Did
Like,
he
yeah,
give,
this
like
is.
a courtesy, like run a little dish soap through it, hit it with the sprayer.
Hey,
or-
Rob,
There was no chunks.
Okay, well that's good. Yeah, I mean, if you would have wrapped it up,
It
that
was
would've been
ruined.
awful.
They were done though.
Scatological material.
It's like
tonight.
let go,
We're
dude.
full on.
You look at some of this underwear people drop off. I'm like, dude, just let go. Just get some
Right.
new goddamn underwear. It's
Oh,
an
dude,
investment.
Let go
I got-
of them, buddy.
I went to the UPS store to mail off a hat like a week or two ago, and there's this old guy wearing gray sweats, and I don't think he.
Oh, yeah.
And I like this is.
Was he
this
packing
is,
heat in them gray sweats?
Well, he wasn't. I wasn't the dick print I was so impressed with as it was the $50 size shits.
This poor bastard, man.
And I'm like, like fuck.
Like, what do you do except politely ignore it, right? Or do you whisper and go,
Yeah.
"Hey, old guy,
Yeah, hey buddy,
go home and change your pants."
Yeah, well,
I
that's
hope
what I'm
someone does
saying.
that to me. But
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think I would want someone to let me know.
yeah,
But at the same time, I think whoever did let me know, I'd probably murder. So
Right.
so only the two of
How do
us
you-
were the only two that
well, you're not getting your dignity back from the person who told you.
That's
You just have to
100%
never see
right.
that person again.
Yeah, right,
You just
or
have
kill
like, right.
Yeah,
I'm
or
sorry,
yeah.
I really liked you, and then
Yeah.
bye.
It was good, but then you noticed I shit my pants.
Dude, we kicked this guy out of our platoon at NTC, which is in California. Do some desert training. We got shipped there for like a month, and we got a guy. He shit his pants, and he got kicked out of the platoon for it.
For shitting his pants?
He shit his pants. He was like going out to like what
Was he like a chronic pants shitter?
he ended up doing it again in his new
Wow.
platoon, but it was pretty funny.
I know bedwetting is a problem.
I'm not gonna use his name.
But you'll get kicked out of the military for bedwetting.
Really?
That's a symptom of PTSD, though.
People
Yeah,
join
people with PTSD.
People
piss
join
it
the
out.
military, and in boot camp they pee the bed over and over again. And they're like, "Go home."
Oh,
No
yeah,
doubt.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, happens.
I've
pretty
seen people.
pretty common.
That's another thing.
I'll be damned.
The things
It's a
people
stress
do.
response, you know. But
No,
it's like,
yeah.
sorry, you
Judgment.
can't have that stress response here. We got equipment you're tearing up. You got to go.
That's fair.
You're pissing on everyone's sheets.
Yeah, you're pissing on your friends.
You're ruining a lot of.
No, the
mattresses.
things people
Those
do
things
to
aren't
get out of
free.
basic training, man. We had a guy, he tried to hang himself
That's
from
the
the
secret.
third story window with the cord to a floor buffer, and the idea was the floor buffer
was
would
catch
the frame of the window, and he would hang and I guess die. And I don't know if that was his actual intent, but it didn't go as planned at all. The floor buffer did catch the frame of the window and hang there, but the cord just snapped right away, and he just hit the fucking ground. And they found him out there like laying there just injured.
Oh,
and I think he did go home.
Yeah. They'll generally let you go. They don't want that.
We walked in on a kid
gotta
slit
go
his
home.
wrist.
How long were you in the military, Will?
8 years.
How long were you in, Seth?
4.
Man, those are big chunks. Big chunks of time.
Big chunks of time.
Big chunks of time. Did you feel like when you went in, did you have a... I always wonder... I didn't serve, and so like... but I know that, you still have some of the... I don't know, niceties of the citizens world. You still have plenty, comforts and things like that. But did you feel like I know in 8 years' time, 8 years from today, 8 years ago, and then 8 years before that, like my political perspective, my philosophical perspective, like
all changed.
It changed so
shifted.
much in that time. Did you feel like you were experiencing that in the military? Like, did it make?
Because I went from 18 to 26.
Yeah, man.
That's a big period of development in everyone's life.
Yeah.
And I did change tremendously in that time. And, the biggest thing in the military is just like you said, it's a big chunk of time. It's sort of like you put pause on life. Because, like, when you're in the military, you're spending this time. You're not going to college. You're not learning a trade. You're not learning a skill. You're sort of falling behind. And you're like, well, maybe I'll stay in the military for 20 years and get a pension. But most people aren't doing that. So...
No?
You're sort of waiting for real life to begin.
Yeah.
It's sort of fun. And then people get caught up in this thing where it's like, man, all I got to do to fix all the problems in my life is get out of the military.
Right.
That's the mindset you start to have.
A lot
3 years and 2 days, I'll be out. Everything will be great. But really, you just go home, and now you don't have any friends because all your friends were in the military.
Yeah.
The best friends you ever made, you were super tight with.
Family behind, yeah.
They're all, and you're just home and...
Dude, I'll tell you one thing that annoys me. I'm just going to say it, and tell me if you agree with this, is some guys, when you meet them and they find out you were in the military and they were in the military, oh, God, it just gets, especially if they've been drinking.
They want to talk?
It gets a little obnoxious. They just, they turn into the macho man all of a sudden, like, oh, brother. They're just like, hey, what's your name? Like, I'm Seth. Oh, I'm Greg. Oh, hey, Greg. It's like, oh, I was also in the Army. Oh, brother. We're brothers, brother. And you're just like, and they want to bro shake and pound wrist.
All right, well, guess who just got a new character? You got drunken vet at the bar that calls everybody brother.
We're assertive vet.
Yeah, fucking brother, man.
Yeah,
So
man.
what time
We
were
got,
you
I
in?
want to feel. I got a whole series of
They're
skits.
like,
I wanna
where were
fill.
you stationed?
The only good thing about being a vet is being able to talk shit on other vets. Because a civilian can't be
'cause
like,
everybody else is-
veterans are annoying, right?
But
I can.
It always
they're
fascinates me when
Get your
people
free-
choose that
get
hill,
your free Applebee's,
when they're going to speak out against.
Yeah.
Not necessarily even vets, but inevitably vets will catch shrapnel or something because they're some kind of anti-war hot take, which I probably agree with, and a lot of just the way they go about it. But yeah, you never want to be the civilian that's like, fuck them.
Right.
Yeah, that's not a good spot to be.
You're right. That's why they fight, so you can be that civilian.
Oh, no doubt. And you know what? A lot of guys are like,
you come
hey.
home and you feel bad because these people come up to you, they'll be like an elderly man in a World War II hat shaking your hand. He's like, thanks for fighting for freedom. Or just some he's cool, but it's like just some civilians will come up like, oh, you defended our freedom. Like, no,
yeah, I felt that sort of
I
annoying.
didn't.
Like,
your freedom was not at any.
When I came home,
not at stake at any point in the last 10 years.
I was
from any
annoyed.
outside.
People would find out that I went to Iraq, and then they would say things to me. It was like, or they would ask me questions, and they just wanted me to confirm whatever they thought politically. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
So they were either like, it's unfair how much people have criticized George Bush's war. It's unfair. Or they were like, it's completely, this war sucks and you shouldn't have gone, dude. And they just wanted me to confirm that worldview for them. I'm just like, I don't want to really talk about it.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, I was in my
Like,
dress uniform.
thanks for
at
shit
a
on
bar.
everything I've done for the last.
I don't care about that, but it's just like, I don't, you know what I mean?
That's what I would
Both
do.
are annoying, you know what I
That's what I
mean?
would
Like,
do. I
but
was
the
saying-
same thing that Seth says, I don't need them to suck my dick either. You know what I mean?
don't wanna talk about
It's
it
like,
at all.
Yeah, the over worship of veterans and first
It's
responders
weird.
and police. It's weird. It's too much.
Propagandist.
It's too much, and I get it. It's like it's a reaction to the Vietnam thing where those guys got treated like shit and spit on and stuff, and so now we're going too far in the other direction. We're like, you're the great, you're heroes.
Well, yeah, but
it's like no.
And the problem is,
a couple
like,
of them are heroes. Most of them are just people doing a job.
If you could have taken like the mindset of the average American now towards veterans, and put that mindset with the awareness of how wrong the war was in Vietnam, and you put those together, like you would have an entire citizenry kind of saying the same thing. Like, hey, why are we fighting other people's wars? Yeah. Why are we spending these resources? Why are we sending our guys there to die? But hey, the ones of you that did go, you're not my enemy. Like, we love you. Thank you for being this sacrificial lamb for, in this world power game of chess.
And that's the other weird thing too, is people find out I'm a veteran and they like assume that I have like right wing opinions about things, right? It's like I joined when I was 18, dude. Yeah. Like I just didn't know that why I had no idea why.
I didn't have shit going on. I felt like a loser.
Straight up, I think
I certainly had no idea why America went to war. I just assumed that it was basically because we're generally morally the good guys in the world, and and we're not those bad Russians. I grew up with the Russians being a big threat, and we weren't the bad. And every war we've ever fought, we've basically been the good guys. And if they need me to go somewhere, I'll go somewhere. That was basically my 18-year-old, and that's good enough. I didn't need to look into anything, Yeah. I didn't know that it was greed and fucking treachery and all sorts of bullshit, and it's.
Well, that was, and also,
those are things you learn
when
after.
We had a Roman with us in the studio, our first intern. He's like, he grew up down in the boot heel. He's like, man, where I'm from, that's how you get the fuck out. That's how you get out of town.
Really good way to get the fuck out.
Like this is how people in the middle of nowhere get the fuck out.
You get out and you have a good job with good benefits, and you're learning. In some cases, you're learning a skill. Yeah. Now, sometimes you're not, but what's that? Yeah, I mean, you get to travel places that you wouldn't otherwise from your little podunk-ass poor town, and getting some fun adventures, and it is a good option economically for a lot of people, and that is the engine that drives recruitment and always has been for a lot of people.
Everybody listening at home, someone give me a number real quick. Pick a number 1 through 10. Go.
But I was gonna say, like, it's crazy, like, just people are like, oh, you fought for our freedom. Here's 10% off of a classic roast beef at Arby's.
Well, I'm not going to turn that down.
No, I mean, if I were you guys, I would be.
But they go up and they like hug and shake people's hands, and sometimes I want to walk up to him like, he's probably great. That veteran over there, that's probably a great person. But I mean,
I don't know.
You probably end up thinking a lot of shitbags. Because there are so many shitbags in the military, and so many guys.
That's this other thing is like everybody assumes.
Don't ruin it for them. Yeah, don't ruin it for them. They have a grown-up fairy tale that they're keeping alive.
And also,
it's not always a fairy tale. There's good chance that that's a great person.
Listen, my thing is,
but sometimes they are just.
There's so many people that are still not really ready. And I'm like splitting the middle on this, but really ready to kind of see the give up the nationalism that was ingrained in them from the time that they were that all of us were children.
Yeah, it's hard.
We all got up. We said, "I pledge allegiance." We swore to a flag.
Yeah,
like as kids.
Looking back,
long before,
like so cultish.
I mean, it is. I mean, it's a major thing of nationalism, and for the most part, yes, we are also the world power that pulls up to a place that gets hit by a hurricane. Plugs in a nuclear sub and powers the whole fucking island, or what? We have those capabilities too. So we're always told this hero's tale.
Yeah.
But we're always kind of just unaware of how every hero's tale kind of works, which is like, oh no, it's not all sunshine.
It's complicated.
It's real complicated. There's a shadow side to this hero.
And we drank our asses off. We did crazy shit. We drank a lot. We hung out with strippers. We went to after parties with them. There's guys, you're shaking this veteran's hand, and what he does in his personal life doesn't take away the fact that, he served, but you're shaking the hand of a guy who probably gangbanged some chick.
Seth, what?
I love those stories. Those are my favorite. Like the guy.
Is that your scene that you're into?
Like some guys
is that what you're searching for?
This dude straight had a
You should start an internet campaign. Stop thinking veterans. Many of them are sexual deviants who have done
we will
weird
make this
shit.
Video. Let's make this skit.
Right?
Let's make this skit. Have you ever found yourself thanking a veteran? And then we'll do
Right.
the whole thing. Like you might be entitled to compensation. Like you might be entitled to getting your free coffee back. That guy was a dirtbag. You want to buy him a coffee?
I talk about being a veteran on stage, and sometimes I'll say I was in the military, and in certain places they'll want to clap big time. And I only tell them I'm in the military because I need to set up this joke, you know. So the thing I say is I just go, don't clap. I was drunk for most of it, you know, like, and that loosens them up. But yeah, the thing is, being thanked when you're a veteran is sort of weird.
Don't thank me.
I just go,
Thank
okay,
other- you thank whoever you want, don't thank me.
thank you for your service. I go, thank you, and then I just break contact.
My
Get away.
buddy's
Just get away.
been in, my buddy's
That's
stayed
for
in.
them. It's not for me, and it's fine.
totally.
That's for them. It's not for me. Fine. I don't care.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, I've heard my buddies say, "Well, you're worth it."
What is
Like,
it?
like every time they, say, "Thank you for your service." Yeah, you're worth it.
Oh, you're worth it. That's so corny.
It is.
It's so corny.
And you know, that's kind of where he's at. Is like, yeah, fuck. Okay, yeah, you're
Oh
welcome.
man, it's so weird.
Da-da-da-da.
Right? That's what's so weird about it.
Seth, give him video number 9. That was the first one that came across here.
I don't.
Thank you.
These
for
aren't
your
numbers.
service.
I know. I thought maybe you'd just roll with it, bud.
All right, we'll see what this is.
Video number
16
9.
contestants from around the world compete in a combat-style tourney where the winner gets a chance to take on reigning master gaffer Jason Long of Sweet Leaf Emporium in Farmington, Missouri. This is the Great Big Blow. Let's meet this week's contestants.
Hello. Hello, Sergey Santa Monica. I come from Georgia. I am glassblower. I am based glassblower in Olive Land. I like Disneyland. I like Lunchables. And I also like blowing the glass. Because when I blow glass, it's like all of the pain inside of me goes through tube, comes out other end, is very strong, but at other end is sometimes vulnerable. And when the glass breaks on the other end, you go, which is, you know, it's just their soul leaving your body. Boris! Yes, hello down there. Yes, I'm blowing the glass. My favorite bands are Red Hot Chili Peppers, Blink 182, all the small things, truth tells, truth seems. Yes, you know the tune. I enjoy eating Lunchables. Nacho Lunchables are my favorite. Hello, I'm Sergey. I'm off to the glass blowing competition. As you can see now, I live in beautiful San Francisco. Behind me, yes, right behind me is the Full House house. Yes, Danny Tanner house where Danny Tanner live. House where Uncle Jesse have nice hair inside house. Lot of weird things with Kimmy Gibbler going on next door. One of my favorite shows brought me most joy in Georgia. We are waiting for final season now. Final season should be out here in the next 4 to 5 years. I don't actually live in one of the houses. I live in the park. Here, glass blowing is not as, how do you say, lucrative as one might think. I'm poor. I eat trash from the dumpster. I like to eat hot dog on stick. I like to enjoy in American freedoms, like swimming at the beach, volleyball, and rollerblading. I like to do all such things such as that. Hello, this is my dog Vladimir. Sit! Good boy! Hey! Sit! Boy! Good!
Hey, how's it going, bud? I'm Hyler Howe from Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, eh? You know, besides being known as the best glassblower here in the Great White North, I also make the meanest and choicest poutine this side of the Frenchies, bud. Other things I'm interested in besides blowing the glass around is I'm a big champion moose caller. I have done this before. I don't recommend anybody just do this on their own. Make sure that you have a good, fine-hearted Canadian with you when you're going to do it. I don't like doing this so close to home. I'm so good at it, I'm afraid I'm going to call a beast out of the woods. Okay, here we go. Oh, you know, sometimes I come down here, I think about the next little great glass blow that I'm going to do. Hey, you know, back there in the woodshed is where I do most of my glass blowing, bud. Just this past year, I blew hockey sticks for all Sasky line for the St. Louis Blues. Old Heiler's got his own how hat trick. I try to take 3 different broads into the airstream here, bud. Some say that a how hat trick is a goal, a fight, and an assist, eh? I say the old how hat trick is 1 in the goose, 1 in the moose, and 1 in the poos, eh? How's the water today, bud? Pretty cold, eh? The muskie's hidden. All right, bud. Hey, look, we want everybody to know that they're welcome up here in the Great White North. You know, I know we get the reputation for being some really kind, gentle people, but I want to tell you something, bud. Like, this place is no joke, okay? You come up in here into Saskatchewan, you're not ready to fight a bear with your bare knuckles. You got another thing coming, bud. Oh, I want to show you guys all the beautiful parts of Saskatchewan. The fishing up here is great. You pull these fish out of the water, you have to keep your head on a swivel. Because those bears will come out of the wood, they'll fight you for your fish. Okay, you could just be walking around trying to take in all of these nice little conifer trees here. And next thing you know, you got a little cow moose coming trampling towards you. She'll stomp you in the ground, bud. Hey, little moose, you better run, bud. Old grizzly coming to get you. Bear's a hoser, bud.
That was video number 9. You, Corey Young, you are the winner of that one. Hey, bud.
Riveting game too.
It is a riveting game. Seth,
we came up with so many ideas today, but we're like, we just don't have any time.
That's all right. It's fine.
It's all right. No, let me clear the air because
Yeah.
you've cut. Like every time I shit on veterans, you guys just cut me off. Like I'm trying to get to a point. And so I just have all these comments hanging out,
Listen,
out there. That
don't
are
put
just
your
like,
emotional garbage on
and
us.
yeah, there's times like I said, me and some guys.
Are you trying to
at
make
the
an official
barracks,
statement against veterans
We
on the
were-
record? Go ahead.
We did watch a guy bang the colonel's daughter from his window, and doggy style, and then there's been some crazy parties and stuff like that. Now,
Hang on, this is okay. Go ahead.
no, but really, the only point I'm trying to make is that like veterans aren't like these super. It's perfectly okay to thank veterans. That's great. You can thank whoever you want for anything you want. It's a free country because of those veterans. See?
Okay.
Now listen. Yeah, but they're
With the
just-
highest incarceration
The thing
rate.
about veterans is like and soldiers, they're not like these superhuman people that are above society in any way. They're everybody you see every day. It's all kinds of folks from all over the place, from different walks of life. I mean, there's guys like, I can't wait to get out. I don't like this one guy's like, when I get out, I don't care if I'm fucking homeless as long as I can find a way to get high every day. I'm like, well, this didn't work for you at all.
That broke him down,
You're just
huh?
going right back to
That's
where you
tough.
came from, and that happens.
That's tough.
It happens. To
I guess that's the disconnect. Is like soldiers have always been citizens.
Yeah,
They go to war and then they come back home to their
just like all
towns.
of
They
us,
put
but-
on different clothes. but
Now,
yeah.
now we have like a professional military,
Yeah.
and it's a little bit different. It's sort of a new thing. The military is sort of foreign in the minds
Yeah.
of lots of Americans. Like they don't know anyone in the military.
Yeah.
It's not like
They're brothers.
in World War II, everyone went, right?
Yeah. It was a common cause because guess
So
what, guys?
we're now it's like there's this professional military, and there's sort of I think that drives sort of
And
the
then
like
you brought up Nam earlier. Those guys, they didn't have a choice. They were drafted.
that was the last time they were
mic-
A lot of
drafted,
them were
Your mic looks
African
pretty low
Americans.
there, Seth. Turn your mic up a little bit.
and that's why we don't have a
I'm
drafted
going up
anymore.
back and forth on it. And you know, a lot of those guys, their country hated them before they left.
The United
hated
States
them
said this
when
the
they got
last
home.
time we're going to have people marching in the streets when we want to go to war. We'll just make them all volunteers, and then who's gonna march against that? And that's what. That's
Well,
why.
and then I remember them all saying, that's what made the United States fighting force great, is everybody chose to be there.
well,
Anybody who's there now,
it definitely changed. Yeah, it
they're
definitely
at
changes
will.
the attitude.
You know, which I guess I get. I get that. It's kind of a Spartan mentality a little bit. Any other crazy jobs you had?
When I was in high school, I ran a weed eater all day long. The city branch ran through town, and me and 2 other guys just cut weeds
All day long.
all day.
That gets your obliques, bud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It wasn't a bad job though. We
Yeah,
had a
not bad.
pickup truck and 3 weed eaters, and three of us. We were a crew, and we had some fun.
Man, weed eaters drive me fucking crazy. I spend more time stringing those cocksuckers and fixing the car than I do weed eating.
They suck.
Drives me insane. I always wonder, I'm like, you know what, here's the deal. The ones that do this shit on the highway or whatever, like, they got the best equipment. Like, that shit never fails them. I have this fantasy in my brain that if for some reason
they buy top of the line steel
I got their
equipment.
steel fucking, you know, that it just, first off, why are we not to a point in 2021 where weed eaters have electric starts?
I'm about to go,
That's I mean, come on. I got cars.
I was going to say, I'm just going to go battery powered. Drive the bolt battery in there and give me the trigger.
Like, push start. Cars have them.
Yeah.
I got to pull a fucking rope. Come on, bud. I'm pretty sure I tore my rotator cuff.
I hate two-cycle engines. They're
just fuck you. It pisses me off.
Yeah.
Give me a push button start. Anyway, I'm sorry for that tirade. I was feeling a little passionate about it. Well, I know that there's an open mic tonight.
Yep.
Just down the street.
Big Daddy's down
Big
there.
Daddy's. Are there any heavy hitters going down there tonight you know of?
Probably mostly newer people.
Yeah.
But it's exciting that there's a new open mic in the St. Louis scene. You know, there's getting to be more and more mics. They sort of ebb and flow. And
that's great.
We were sort of in an ebb even before COVID. And then, of course, COVID shut things down. And now it's like...
Dude, people are just dying to get out. I went to a concert yesterday.
It's going to be... What?
I went to a concert yesterday at the Blue Note in Columbia.
Wow.
And it was socially distanced. They had tables, you know, in little bubbles down the floor. And then upstairs, like, you know, they had like taped fucking 8-foot squares or something that the table sat in the middle of. Like, oh, don't leave your bubble. But then
let it go, people.
Come on.
Just fucking let it go.
And then upstairs
God damn.
in the stadium seating, like, they would have like 4 seats, and then they would have like black plastic wrap over like 16
We're
seats.
a month away from just letting go all that shit.
We're close.
Memorial Day, baby.
We're real close.
I say Memorial Day. It's going to be a fun summer. And like
people, dude, it's coming right back in the summer because people are going
everyone who wants a vaccine has access to it now.
Yeah, and that's another thing.
Period.
Celebrate Memorial Day. No,
like, let's circle back to that. Circle back. But yeah, I think people are ready. Comedy shows, I can feel it, man. They're getting bigger and bigger.
Good.
People
just want to get out, man.
The last few weekends, I've done some spots at the Funny Bone, and they felt like pre-pandemic shows.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I know, like when we came to that first, comedy showcase back, it was better than half the room was full, and that was the first one. So now that people are finding out that things are opened up, that's cool, man. That's real great. Cool. That's really good for you guys too. Like, just from a honing your chops standpoint, like just get more diverse crowds in there. It just feels
like, and then I see things like, New York City, the New York City clubs are back open.
That's good.
The Comedy Store in LA just opened back up. So like it's building momentum, baby. I feel like it's going to be a fun summer.
I think you're right. I think you're right. I mean, I haven't participated for the most part.
Haven't participated in COVID.
It's not it's just, I lived in an area where it wasn't mandatory to participate. Nobody participated. Nobody participated.
It felt like the whole world played a game of The Floor is Lava.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm not. I don't care.
It's a cool game, guys.
I'm just going to walk on the floor. And they're like, no, you can't.
Because the floor is lava.
And I was like, come on. I just want to go into the gas station.
And then you burned your legs off.
Yeah.
And they're like, fucking told you, dude.
Yeah. No, and then I got COVID, and it was slightly warm on my feet.
And they were like,
they were like, see, we were right the whole time. And I was like, it was just slightly warm on my feet. And they're like, we were right.
I'm sorry.
Just slightly.
But we were right. Seth, well, real quick, because I know that you need to get down the road. I don't want to cut you off. You can stay here as long as you want, because we're just going to play some little clips and videos and go back and forth from riffing, talk about dumb, stupid jobs that we've had, go down memory lane. So if you got to get on down the road, I'm going to let you plug your socials and let everybody know what's up. If you got any shows coming up, if there's anything they need to look out for, and how they can support you, bud.
Well, check me out on Instagram at Willy Thrilly Comedy, and Facebook too. I go live every Wednesday at 3:30 and do a show called Willy Thrilly Comedy Hour, and I just talk for an hour.
I'm a big fan,
and I love it. I can't get enough of it.
It's cathartic.
That's why I had to come down here and do this. I was like, I got to get a hit. Craig, let me get on the air and talk live.
Listen, I started
my Facebook Live, man.
I started doing that where, a few days, because what I realized then was like I was doing it too often, and so then I felt obligated to do it.
Yeah.
But then I was like missing out on all of my fucking awesome podcast time. You know,
I wanted to do it every day. I wanted to do a lot, and somebody goes, "Hey, there's something to be said for like scarcity. Do it once a week."
And especially if you can do it on a schedule.
And and then I realized if I can do it at the same time every week, people know when to tune in, and so
no doubt.
I've got like 10,000 people watching.
Yeah, I saw.
I mean, no, wait, not 10,000. 10 people watching every week.
Oh, well,
but still,
put you in good company.
That's fun.
Put you in really good company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the greats. All the greats.
Hit me up on there. Find me on Facebook, Will O'Donnell. I'm still doing it for my personal page.
Good for you.
Like, I got to figure out how to like do it from my fan page so I can.
Then they make you pay for it.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Like right now, you're building an organic following with people, and as far as they know, you're not really selling anything.
Right.
The second that you have something to sell,
they want their cut.
I mean, our trajectory as
the
a show,
second it got to where it was something, I would be ready to leave Facebook, just like you guys are.
Our trajectory as a show has been like this, even after taking time off. Like, I mean, we took almost 2 months off, and even now, like,
yeah, you guys are leaving Facebook.
Not super.
Where should I go to build a platform?
We're trying Reddit. I had a whole talk about this the other day. Like, I'm doing this on principle, and it doesn't like. I mean, more than anything, it's scary as fuck. Like, everything that we've really invested in has been on the Facebook platform.
Right.
We haven't really. I mean, we've put plenty. We've multi-stream.
The scary thing is when you leave, does everybody come with you? Or
they won't.
Not everybody.
They inevitably won't.
What percentage of them will come with you?
It's a small one, but that's okay.
I mess with Facebook because that's where I can reach people.
That's the deal.
We're going back to MySpace.
I'm an old guy, and all my friends are old people.
We've had people, come over to Reddit with us. We have a subreddit. We've had some people go to Discord. The problem is that Facebook is just kind of the one platform that everybody has.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's probably Twitter, I would think. I'm not a Twitterer. Steve,
Twitter.
Kind
Instagram?
of Twittered a little bit. Instagram definitely, but it's Instagram's not really, you can hack it and stream into it, but it's not really built for streaming. Mm-hmm. And also it's still owned by Facebook. So it's like, Reddit, we were able to kind of set up the parameters of our group as, that's not safe for work. So I'm never going to fucking have this conversation with them about censorship. Like, but what Reddit does to NSFW groups is that they don't allow you to post videos directly into it. They don't want people eating up all of their server space, posting fucking porn clips in NSFW, groups. So that presents a little bit of a challenge. Like the things that we're comfortable with. I mean, Facebook, what they've done is as good as it gets anywhere. That's why 2 billion people use it. That's why they continue to use it. And it's a mad addiction. Like, it's an addiction.
It is.
And I mean, the average person opens it, 15 times a day. The average user.
I know I do. Yeah.
For sure. Most people, I mean, honestly, I would say it's now gotten to the point where most people, let's just say 50 and under. Well, maybe not 50 and under, because the youngest generation, they're not really getting on Facebook. So that's the only thing that's a little bit.
But they're on 5 other ones.
Yeah,
so.
and Facebook is also giving a playbook to all of these other, the whole idea. It's like what the argument that Apple made. Did you know that like there's a feud between Apple and Facebook?
I probably heard.
There's a kind of an ongoing feud where like Facebook took like a fucking newspaper ad out against Apple and all of this, and basically the gist of it was like Tim Cook's like, a lot of people have said that we're the devil, or that we're this thing. He's like, but we've always sold people products because we sell them a thing. But Facebook is selling people to companies. That's what they're doing.
Right.
He goes, and so he raised this kind of ethical, question. And, for us, like we started out as a smaller group, which was, basically entirely founded on Facebook. We reached out to the old neighborhood. We started doing fundraisers with that. We started going to all these cannabis events. We developed this really great little family in Kansas City and Columbia and Springfield and all over the state. And then it got bigger than the state. And it was like kind of these people that were coming together for all the right reasons. And then, of course, the group kind of also outgrows that to where, in our group, we have very loyal fans. I would say up to, maybe 1,500 that would, be in and be at the party, be a contributor to it. And then there's just other people that just got there because their friends said, hey, this is a fucking hilarious place where, everything kind of goes, but people still kind of have a adult way of talking to one another. And that's all we wanted to create. But then it was also founded on this idea of free speech and, a marketplace of ideas and opinions. And then when, Facebook started asking us to come down on people, it's like, well, if we're leading a community, if this community was kind of built on these tenets, then as people that created this show and this, I guess, strip of culture to kind of share with their friends, like, one of us has got to be sober enough to do something about it. And it's scary as fuck because I have people talk about how important that group is or why that's the only thing that keeps them logging in. We hear that shit all the time. It's like, if that's the case,
I don't know why.
Yeah, if that's the case, come over here.
Yeah.
And let's just see. Let's just find out. But more than anything,
I can't go a whole day without seeing a meme about eating ass.
Well, but some people can't, and also so then there's also this other tough avenue, which is like we were people's dirty little secret. Like they were a place where they could go and tell that joke.
Right, yeah.
And then if somebody saw it in there, well, what are you doing in there? Yeah. It's kind of that whole thing. It's like you go somewhere you don't necessarily want to be seen, but then you see somebody you're like, well, wait a minute,
right?
You're here too. You know what I mean? Like, so it's kind of that's tough to build around, and so like it's a scary proposition.
I trust it though. I trust it.
I do too.
I don't think Facebook is the future. I think you're moving on at the right time.
I think so. I hope so.
There'll be a period.
There'll
be a long period of rebuilding,
Craig.
but what you rebuild will be better than what's on Facebook.
That's the hope anyway. So like we try to make that possible with Reddit and Discord right now. And the thing is that those Reddit especially, Reddit's like a half generation behind us. Because I remember like getting on Reddit in like probably 2010 or 11. Like this is the funniest place on the internet. Like this is like this. I just thought everything was so fresh. And I could always tell who was a Redditor on Facebook because they would post whatever the thing was that had been trending on Reddit before. And now it's pretty universal. A lot of people use it, and it's, it is totally different though. I feel like you got to be a little bit more savvy as far as, kind of computer message boards go and things like that. That's what Facebook's done well. They gave you a fucking clean interface that says, oh, this, and then they gave you a bunch of buttons to
Your
trigger
Aunt
people's
Sally
endorphins.
can figure it out in a day.
Yep, and she can tell you how much she loves you with the hearts and everything else, and that pumps you full of endorphins, and that feels great, and you guys can kind of share that. And also, it's a really cool tool to keep up with people that you never thought you were going to see again. Like, all of that shit is great.
Yeah.
Reddit brings it back to kind of an anonymous place, and Discord does too, where a lot of people aren't using their real names to go over there. So that's different, Like it's kind of hard.
I gotta use it to keep track of my brothers.
Yeah, your brothers in arms.
Keep track of my brothers.
Hey, so I'm gonna let.
No, it is great for that though. That is an
to catch up with your fellow veteran buddies.
Yeah,
I saw a video the other day of some guy who was really excited to see his buddy from his.
Oh, the guys that were hugging,
like, jumped up on him.
Yeah,
it was.
We do hug a lot. I guess.
Did you jump up on anybody like
Dude,
that?
I can't. I don't know. I was talking to Scotty, your brother, the other day, and I was talking about war movies and like the way they portray soldiers. Like we don't talk like that. Like, oh, we're brothers and we're here to fight for freedom. And this is my comrade. Comrade, that's a communist thing. But he's like, this is my brother, and I'm like, we don't do that. We don't talk like that at all.
All your war movies starring Jesse the Body
Yeah,
Ventura.
they're all like
yes.
Hulk Hogan.
Did you watch Predator?
But you know what I'm talking about. They're just so,
I ain't got time to bleed.
They're just so ridiculously corny, and they just overdo it. Like no, because that's what people want to see. But no, it's not like that.
That's
at
a
all.
genre.
We
that
say
people want.
terrible things to each other. We call each other terrible names.
I'll tell you what.
Veterans are just terrible people.
So listen to this. This is
my point. Is they're just like everyone.
Okay.
They're just like you and I.
Fuck those veterans is what you're saying, Seth. That's what you've been saying, right?
Listen, Craig.
Seth hates them as much as he hates humanity in general.
Craig,
we get it.
Out of the three of us, you didn't serve. This ain't your conversation.
Oh, I can.
This is for me and Will.
Kidding.
Kidding.
Yeah, I know. You fought for my right to kid.
I fought for your right to tell these jokes. I fought for a right for people to post those terrible memes on our page.
So
that's something I should have always told Facebook back when I was an admin. Like, hey, me and my brothers, we fought for a right for people to post
you
those
turn
memes.
into Walter Sobchak. You're like, I do not
So
watch
we
my
can
blood.
enjoy this family
Face
relationship.
down in the muck, so my friends couldn't post memes.
But I never really did understand reporting, like getting in trouble if it's a private group. I get if you just throw it out there on your regular
Totally.
page. Private group, you were
This
invited.
is
and
a
you
group
can
of
fucking
adults that
leave.
all chose to be here. We don't let kids in.
It's like the exclusive
The understanding
channels when
between
you're a
all
kid.
of the adults who are voluntarily. Because here's the thing, Facebook basically saying that.
That
I
sounds
can't
like
do that.
somebody would say in a free society, Craig. Come on.
I know, and my thing is that Facebook being like, you're posting something that maybe it breaks our rules. People probably don't want to see that. It's like, well, they're voluntarily participating in this
Right.
thing.
People need to be protected from
I don't
things
need-
that
I
we
don't-
deem they need to be protected
just don't
from.
need it.
It's like Facebook.
And also,
It's where people
We
find
need
this
our
shit.
users to all feel safe.
Let's
There's
just
some users
say,
who said they didn't feel safe.
let me just
We don't
say-
like it
let
when
me just
someone
say
doesn't feel
that
safe.
if I
Everyone
wanted to
deserves the
feel
right to
safe-
feel safe.
If I wanted to
Craig.
feel safe, the last person I would go to is fucking Dexter at one hacker way in fucking Silicon Valley and be like, hey, will you protect me? Of all people, I'm not picking you. I'm gonna go pick the fucking. In this case, I'm gonna pick the linebacker guy that is serving donuts down the street now. Like I'm not going fucking to Dexter. I don't need you to protect me. I don't need the world nerfed for me. I just don't need it. I got into right. We gotta let Will go. He's got a fucking thing.
No, he's fine.
You gotta go.
But go. But
Real
finish your
quick.
piece.
I listened to this documentary the other day. We started talking about my streaming pick last week was about like this art thief, the art heist that took place in Boston. They sold like $500 million worth of art. It's on Netflix. It's called "This Is a Robbery," and it's crazy. They still never solved it. Rembrandt Seascape. They stole like 13 timeless pieces of art worth $500 million.
Cool.
Case is cold, and so it's actually kind of a pretty cool documentary. From that, I had a friend, and so I was asking, like, do you think the FBI funded this documentary to kind of get people talking about this again? The case has been cold for 20 years, and then my buddy posts this thing about this podcast called Wind of Change, and it's a podcast about how the song Wind of Change by the Scorpions was written by the CIA to kind of transition Soviets into the new world.
That's for real?
You gotta listen to it. So like this dude, he I mean it's like a 7 or 8 part thing, and he talks to all kinds of different people. Yeah, dude, I've been whistling. That's like that is one of the highest selling rock songs of all time.
It was an event, man.
Of all time. Yes.
Well, because the numbers, because it was in
globally,
Europe and globally. And
like it came out right as the Berlin Wall was
winds of
coming down. And I mean,
change.
in all that time, the Scorpions, they never played in East Germany, even though they played in like Leningrad or whatever. Like they're right across the wall.
They're German, right?
Yeah, but they're West German, and like so. Anyway, they chase this whole thing around. It's a pretty captivating deal, and it was so good that I listened. And I'll leave you with this. I listened to the trailer for the next one, and it's the history. It's by the same like podcast production company, and
I want to listen to this.
And it is the complete history of the Chippendales. And it is a wild ride, man. It has been a real wild ride.
Bet so.
They're telling how this whole thing started in 1979 or 1980, and it just became like the biggest phenomenon ever. But there was it's the 80s. Fucking shit was crazy. People were a lot of money, a lot of cocaine, a lot of insanity, and so yeah, man, it's been pretty captivating too, and I think the name of this is Pineapple Street Studios is the podcast thing. But Wind of Change, dude, I think you'd really like it.
I'm gonna check it out.
It's it's interesting. And
CIA would pull some shit like that.
Well, that's kind of the deal. Was like the tip came from inside the agency, and then he worked on this for well over I want to say he gathered info on this for 10 years.
Whoa.
And then over the course of a year went and got traveled to Kyiv, Ukraine, which I always thought it was Kiev, but apparently it's Kyiv, Anyway, like he travels there and to see a Scorpion show, and he's talking to all these Ukrainian kids. Dude, the Scorpions still play 190 shows a year.
What?
Yes,
That's awesome.
The Scorpions.
the fucking Scorpions.
Man, them 80s bands got
They
the
make great.
got dibs on
They
all
reached
the
a
great
lot of
names.
people.
Yeah.
They had a lot of fans.
Yeah.
I bet so. But they still rake it in.
I think, Seth, what we need to do is we need to go to video number 5. Will, thank you for joining us, bud. I hope
My
you guys
pleasure.
knock 'em dead at the
fun.
at the open mic. You're welcome in here anytime you want to come by. And everybody check out at Willy Thrilly Comedy on Instagram, Will O'Donnell on Facebook, and rock and roll, buddy.
All right.
Video number 5.
Man, there ain't nothing like that gal getting that first sniff of that Jacquard Noir and hearing you go, caw, caw, right at climax. It's the Bobby Battlehawk Show. Dude, man.
Got a blue-black bird! Blue-black bird! Say it! Huh! Huh! That's the Bobby to Bobby Express. Taman! Jordan! Damn, man, hit me in the basket, dude! Come on, man, you gotta put it in there, dude! Damn! Could have been first down! Oh, hell, dude! You gonna get me killed across the middle like that. Ladies, Gorilla Glue sponsors this ad. Kid's got chopped up horse feet on his hands. Call is the law.
What's up, everybody? It's Bob Battlehawk, man. You know, you guys know me. I'm just the lean, mean, lady-pleasing machine. You know what I mean? I'm worn down a little bit, man, after XFL Sundays, dude. You know, I go out there, watching the game down at Truman's and Soulard. What a snooch party it is down there, dude. I ended up hooking up with a couple of Nubian princesses with that sea-salted chocolate caramel skin, boy. Whew! Took old daddy for a ride, if you know what I mean. Tell you what I like, man. I like a little Hawaiian gal, man. Skin just smelling like coconuts, man. She just wants to lay you the second you walk in the door, if you know what I mean. I like them Swedish gals. They ain't know nothing about football, but, man, they know how to give you a massage. I'll tell you that. You know what I mean, buddy? I'm just Bobby Battlehawk, dude. I'm just a dude. I like them little Thai gals, man. Only want to do it in the dark, if you know what I mean. They're always good times. Something, man, it's just a little bit tighter, a little bit naughtier with them. Man, I'll tell you what, I like them little Irish gals, man. See-through skin, red head like the flames of hell. I like them little Canuck gals, man. One thing, they appreciate a good American sports car, like my Roadrunner. The other thing is they're just so damn polite. Tell you what else I like, man. I like me a Navajo gal, little Apache woman, man. Help me live out my John Smith fantasies. More than anything, man, I just like me a tried and true South City little river rat. You know what I mean? A girl's down for a good time, throw back a couple of natties with her daddy. If you know what I mean, that's the true icing on the cake for me. It's them little South City Hoosier broads. Man, they'll hop in the ride. They know to take their shoes off before they get in the old runner, if you know what I mean. That's the kind I like, man. All right, dude, let's kick to these Week 2 highlights, XFL football, Battlehawks. All right, looks like, I don't know, Houston's got some kind of kicker up there. I think dude's name's Sergio. Of course, these Roughnecks are going to kick a fucking field goal. Splits the uprights. Do your little tango, Sergio. Good job, man. Welcome to America. All right, let me get to the Battlehawks highlights, please. Look at this. Threw that spiral tighter than the bull's ass in fly season, boy. Oh, man, shaking a tackle. A little grease. Look at that. Jones. Got me a Jonesin', baby. Jonesin' for a little bit more offense. All right, here we go. Here we got Houston's lined up here. Battlehawks in a little 4-4, 4-3 looks like. Maybe 4-4, 4-3 looks like. 4-3. Laying the lumber out there, boy. Whoo! He hit that boy so hard that boy's grandma got shit in her pants. Hey, you tip your cap every now and then. Look at that. God damn. Look, Battlehawks had some pressure on here. You're going to see here, they're going to slow it down slow motion. Look at this. Our D lineman, look at this. He's going to get a hand up. This little Walker, he's a player. Look at that sidearm underneath his arm. He just thread that thing. Look like Huck Finn and a sewing needle. Look at that. Give the boy his props. Touchdown Roughnecks. Oilers? Roughnecks? What the hell with this logo? There's got to be some kind of copyright infringement or something. Here we go. Throwing Samoan. Jordan Tamu. Oh, look at this. Just throws oh, Jordan, come on, baby. Man, he rushed that one. That's all right. But you cannot let this cat just walk all the way back down the damn field. Come on, put a body on him. Hell, man. That could be the game right there, boys. Where's the tackling? I'd like to see a replay on that. Because I'm telling you right now, as sure as I got 2 eyes in my head, this sumbitch did not break the plane. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Oh, man, how much damn time you going to give a kid? Did you give him 4 chances? No shit, they're going to march down the field. Come on, boys. Come on, Cacao. Get up. Look at him. Throwing Samoan. Touchdown. Touchdown. Don't give him that out route, boy. Don't give him them 2-yard out routes because he'll take it. He'll take what you give him, and he'll make you hate it. Look at that. Touchdown, Bellhawk. Cacao, boy. Cacao. That boy's long. He started laying out at the damn near 4-yard line for that. Man, I got me a man crush on Jordan Ta'amu. Ta'amu? All right, here we go. I know I'm sitting in the way. Figure it out. What, you can't use context clues? Touchdown Roughnecks. Fuck, you want to celebrate? Shit. Come on, man. Jordan out of the gun. Here it goes. He's going to give him a look. Whoo-wee! Laser show. Boy just throwing laser beams all over the goddamn laser field. Thing's a howitzer, boy. Oh, look at this. M-I-Z-Z-O-U. You heard me? You heard me, LaDamian? LaDamian Washington? That's pride of Missouri right there, kid. Missouri Tigers. Look at them greasy, slick wheels, boy. Might as well be a fucking road runner running down the sidelines. Damn. Hey, man, here's the deal, man. You can't win them all. You sure want to try. Like I said in that video there, this very well could be a preview of the XFL Championship. We saw a lot of skill out there. We saw a lot of scoring out there. Battlehawks dug themselves a little bit of a hole, but they had fight in them the whole way. And I'll tell you what, you look at the stats, boy, I'll tell you, them stats, we dominated that game. A couple calls didn't go the way. I'll tell you what, I should have got a steal because them referees had me madder than a wet hen. I mean, hotter than a fucking hornet, all right? There was a neutral zone infraction, okay? Could have damn near gave us the game, all right? And you got sky officials, you got girls running all over the field in the zebra stripes, and not anybody can see that this dude is lined up in the neutral zone? Come on, dude. Man, this is XFL football. I thought we were professionals. Should be the best of the best out there calling this game. Man, there ain't nothing like that gal getting that first sniff of that Jacquard Noir and hearing you go, caw, caw, right at climax. Man, it'll get you there every time. This is Bobby Battlehawk. This week, I'm signing off. We're coming for you next week, New York Fartians.
That was number 5, I believe. Is that correct? 5?
Yeah.
That was number 5, yeah. So
I believe. We've done 9 and 5.
I believe that to be true. 9 and 5 so far, and I saw a few. So that was the Bobby Battlehawk brought to you by Dennison Collard with his number 5 that he threw out there. Buddy, we were talking a little bit about jobs. You were blown away that I built limousines.
Yeah, I was. And well, the way you said it earlier, like when I used to build limousines, like as a hobby, and you'd go out and you'd find everything you needed, all the materials needed to build.
I have worked at every...
From the mechanical aspect all the way up to just the design and everything.
I mean, I have worked in like every department. Like I could build a limo from scratch if I needed to. I mean, I wouldn't mill an engine or something. We'd put an engine in it, but I would know how to do that.
Okay.
It was fun, dude. It was a blast. I was into so my first real job was in my dad's shop as a metal fabricator and a hydraulic mechanic, and really more than anything like a shop bitch. Just fucking sweep the floors, go get stuff, and then
make coffee.
Yeah, I learned how to weld, and then I took a few power takeoffs off and stuff like that. Took a few hydraulic fluid baths, and you can weld too. Oh yeah.
Well, you just do it all.
I do, man. I haven't welded in a long time, but it's it's like riding a bike.
Is it?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. Okay. I mean,
like
MIG for sure. MIG is very easy. I mean, that's like when you have like a gun, what looks like a gun, and when you press it, it feeds wire through, and then you just kind of run that through. That's a MIG welder. TIG welding is like when you have like a tungsten rod and you're feeding it with 2 hands. You're like feeding in there. Then you have stick welding and arc welding. Stick.
Those are all very funny.
Yeah.
Everything you said.
Very hilarious, man. But yeah, so I was always just kind of into that kind of stuff. And then when I left my family business from there, like I heard that this limo company was hiring. That was actually in between there is when I was like shooting pool a lot and pretty much just couch surfing and living basically at the pool hall open to close, and then, you know, finding somewhere to sleep that night. And then after that, my buddy was like, told me about this gig building limos, and went and put my deal in, and my past experience was, they were interested in it. So, I ended up working in the shop for like, shit, man, like probably like 5 years in the shop, and then I got moved into sales, you know, from there. So,
what was your first ever job?
My first ever job.
And how'd you get it?
Well, so like the first work I ever did was my uncle from Kansas City lived in Gladstone. He didn't have any kids. He was a bachelor, and he'd come pick me up for like a month at a time.
One of those cool uncles. That's
Dude,
what I am.
He was the fucking coolest for sure.
I'm the cool uncle.
My brother is the cool uncle to my kids too. Like, but he would take me out to his place, and this is before interleague play. So like, the Royals weren't very good. You know, Cardinals weren't really that good either at the time, but it was my only chance to see like Ken Griffey Jr. and A-Rod and different players like that. So he'd always kind of try and come pick me up where the Royals had a home stand, so I could see some American League clubs, and we'd get like $4 general admission seats or something. Go do that, and then go do putt or something. He was just fucking cool, man. And he was like, he turned me on to a lot of music. Like, he's who, you know, we really got into the Beatles together, and he just thought it was so cool that I was into the Beatles that he had like. He had this badass just whole sound setup in his living room. No TV or anything, just a badass like.
Do you try to replicate the Beatles sound?
Well, just a CD and you know, like CD collection, record collection.
Oh, I thought you meant he had instruments set
No,
up. Like,
but he had
everything's tuned exactly how they had their
No,
setup.
he just had fucking dope, like professional quality headphones, and I would just lay on his floor and check. Anyway, so he'd come pick me up, and like I basically learned construction with him for quite a while. Like, you know, I'd go out there for like a month at a time. That was like kind of the first job I ever had. But then and then I worked for my family business. So then after that, in high school, I worked at Taco Bell for like a week.
That was my first job.
Was it? Yeah, it wasn't going to work for me. The manager was a fucking idiot, and they just didn't. I hated how they scheduled shit. Like, I had to like call every day to see if I was on the schedule.
I did great. I got promoted to a shift leader in like 6 months.
I was like 15. I didn't have a way to drive to work, and like their fucking schedule was always changing. Like, I just didn't understand what was so hard about fucking just setting a schedule for a week and letting. Like, I just didn't get that. Anyway,
they don't give a fuck. You're a kid to them.
They don't give a fuck.
They don't give a shit.
Anyway, so Taco Bell was kind of fun though. I found because
I had a blast working at Taco Bell.
It's my favorite fast food. Always has been.
Really?
And people are like, you can't work at Taco Bell, dude. You'll never fucking want to eat it again. And I was like, oh, I'll bet you I fucking will eat it again. Because and honestly, like when I was there,
I started eating again. I think I took probably a solid 3 or 4 year, maybe a 5-year break, maybe more. I took a very long break.
I had no idea, like all of the awesome ingredients that Taco Bell has back there. Like you can fucking
rice they don't put in anything.
The rice and jalapenos and like, dude, I would make the dopest fucking burritos ever.
Oh, dude, we would put everything in a burrito.
Yes.
We'd deep fry it, and then we put the nacho cheese. You know what's fucking gnarly? Are you ready for this?
I am ready.
Remember the Choco Taco?
Yes.
You remember the steamer where you made the pizza oven to melt the cheese?
Yes.
You know where I'm going.
You put a Choco Taco in the steamer?
Right there. You put in one of them little enchilada baskets and put the Choco Taco in there and put it in that steamer.
Yeah?
Oh.
Really?
It turned into a little hot fudge sundae taco thing.
Okay.
It was fucking great.
That's pretty legit.
You know, we were rookie stoners at the time. We were only like 3 years in to our smoking career.
So like my first my first long-term job was also in high school. I worked at Furniture Factory Outlet in Springfield on Sunshine, and it was right next door to a titty bar. And it was like
wait, what?
Okay, Furniture Factory Outlet was like, you know, it's an outlet, right? And like it's on the west side of Springfield in this particular part. Like, it's where people are trying to get some deals, you know. And like so, tax season and shit, like we would be going fucking bonkers. And we had this whole metal building out back that was probably 100 yards long. It's probably like 300 feet by you know, I don't know, probably 40 feet or something. Like it was a long building, and it was filled with fucking, on one side it was like all couches standing up on their end and like sectionals and shit like that, like in big boxes. And then on the other side it was like recliners stacked to the ceiling in boxes and shit like that. Well, we built, like, it was a labyrinth of fucking furniture. And we built like a little like fucking employee like break room in like the middle of like all of these fucking tall couches where we go back there and smoke weed and shit. It was the fucking coolest, man.
That's the coolest thing when you're a teenager, is like
getting away with it
ways
still.
To get away with
Fuck
getting
yeah.
high at work.
Fuck
And you
yeah.
thought it's the coolest thing.
It is the
at
coolest
work.
thing, and like, well, that
we
was the
talked about
thing
this
too.
last week. You never smoked before school.
I did not smoke before school.
I got fucking blunted.
And
before
actually,
school.
I wasn't really the type to
I
smoke
got
at work
bombed
either.
out before first hour.
When I was in high school working, you know, at different places, like I didn't really like getting super stoned before him. But I had this one buddy, and this one buddy is like, he's the dude who I was always just kind of getting in trouble with. And we worked together, and dude, I mean, I spent all of my time with this dude for years and years. We just spent our time laughing our fucking dicks off and getting ourselves in the most ridiculous situations just because we were always just saying yes to whatever the fucking experience was. Okay. And many times, like,
how you learn.
Well, yeah, and many times also we're like, oh, like I would be like, dude, this is a terrible idea. We're gonna get fucked here. Like we're gonna get stuck. We're not gonna be able to do it. And he's like, we'll be fine. You know, we were not fine. It did not turn out to be okay. But anyway, so he and I remember we just got fucking ripped, dude, just totally ripped. And we were trying to keep basically the manager from telling, and I can't hide being stoned. That's part of the reason why I don't like, you know, I didn't like fucking being stoned at, you know, like when I went to build limos, I went in that joint Stony Baloney the first, like they never didn't see me high, you know what I mean? So I didn't get a chance to set that
up.
I didn't get a chance to set that bar, and I did keep that up. I would smoke every morning before I went. I'd smoke at first break. Like that's just how I looked. But you know, I had no such chance to set this in. So like the few times that I got like lifted at that job, I was just trying to hide as much as I could from the sales, because they'd call us like out on the sales floor to like carry shit off the floor if we didn't have it in the back. And I'd always just kind of try to have my eyes down, my face down or whatever. But that job was fun as shit. And I remember, for a couple of things. One, like whenever people are moving and they need some help and I decide to help them out, like they're amazed at how well I can tie some shit down, because the fucking shit that we would do, like the ignorant shit that people would decide to transport home in their stupid fucking vehicles. We had a dude with a Miata one time buy a 3-piece sectional, and he's like, all right.
What the fuck?
And I'm like, what do you want us to do here, bud? You know?
We're not going to take it to your house.
And he's like, well, I mean, we had like a delivery service. Like there was like an outside service that you could
literally
pay for
can't
to do
shop
that.
for you can't shop for groceries in a Miata.
So I set this fucking, we set
by
this
the
thing
sectional.
like in his Miata while he's like in the seat, and I strapped that fucker down. Like we were like, hey, you know, we're only liable for it to the edge of the parking lot, and then it's your problem. You know, like we do not recommend you drive home with this thing. Dude, that motherfucker, like that people would do that all the time. 3-piece sectionals, curio cabinets, you know.
Some guy will have his son in the bed of a truck holding it
hold
for
some
him.
shit in.
It's like, yeah, that was a very standard practice when we were growing up.
It was fun though. There was a kind of a seedy strip club next door, and like every now and then on Sundays, like it was a real seedy strip joint. And so
I would assume I'm gonna get a good price on some furniture if there's a seedy strip club in the block.
Yeah, and I mean,
I don't know why, but it just seems like I would.
They ended up actually kind of cleaning the joint up and making it a little bit nicer.
The strip club, or
the strip club. But I remember like they would do like a car wash every now and then on Sundays, and for us, like we were like, this is the fucking
same
shit.
day right across the street.
Fuck yeah, dude! All day long, like these girls are having a car wash. We're like,
don't even hide it.
We're just like, we're
outside.
rearranging the fucking warehouse. You know, like let us know. But I do remember that. That was pretty fun. That was actually a pretty fun job.
Sundays when we sweep the parking lot.
I had a blast with that job. There was this old man there that worked there. His name was just like Cheers. His name was Coach. And he used to be.
Everybody knows like Coach.
Yeah, he was like the former track and field coach at Missouri State University, and like he was like this super like why I always work like
if you're gonna be called coach though, and somebody says, "What'd you coach?" You got to come off like basketball or football. You can't come
dude,
back.
Coaching anything in college,
track and field.
Coaching anything in college makes you a badass. You know,
Okay.
like I mean, you know. So, and he was just he was a real cool dude. And there was this other guy, Birch. He reminded me exactly of Adam Sandler. Like, he looked like Adam Sandler. He was just a really funny cat. And then there was this other guy who was, to this day, I mean, top 3, top 4 funniest human beings I've ever known. I can't think of his fucking name for anything. But he was such a great salesman. And, like, he would say shit, like, when people would fucking, you know, basically the salespeople would, every time someone come in the door, their name would move up in the spot, and you get the up. You know, like if someone walks in, that's your up. You get to go work that deal or whatever.
Okay.
Chris Fields.
It's like seating. It's like a hostess seating servers in a restaurant. You know, you rotate
totally.
through. I got you.
And so like
Makes
when somebody
perfect
would
sense.
come in,
It's
and
pretty
then
smart,
like,
actually.
you know, they would like tell him like they needed some help or something, and he would like go and like gets in like while he was like going to get, you know, whatever, a fucking thing for financing, or by the time you turn around, they were walking out the front door, and he'd just scream across, "Oh, well, fuck you too then. Have a great day. Fuck you very later. See ya."
What?
You know? He was just like, people were trying to sneak out on him. Fuck that. He's like burning my ups. A little pain in the ass. Anyway, so I had a blast at that job. I actually quit that job in the most bold way ever.
Yeah,
and
let's hear it.
This was... remember the movie Rounders?
No.
With Matt Damon and Edward Norton, the poker movie? Mm-mm. You never seen it?
I'm a big Ed Norton fan.
You never seen Rounders? You should. I mean, if you've never seen it, you should totally see it. Like, it kind of like one of the definitive films of our generation for sure. One of the reasons why poker got so like big,
Okay.
you know. And yeah, dude, it's great. You should totally check it out. But there's this fucking scene, and this guy, I'd been telling my buddy, I'm like, dude, if fucking Gary doesn't stop giving me the business, I'm gonna fucking lose it on this dude. I'm gonna walk the fuck out of this place. And my buddy's like, you're not gonna do shit, pussy. You know what buddies do, you know. And Gary like started to reprimand me over something.
You won't fucking do it.
Gary started to reprimand me over something, and I was like, well, I was like, let me tell you something, Gary. This is me. Like, I'm a bold 17-year-old. I would have fucking
First time you ever used his name.
Yeah, I was like, well, Gary, you see,
Listen,
here's the
Gary.
thing. I need this job like I need your fucking cock in my ass, pal. I'm out of here. And like, Birch was looking at me, and everybody was looking at me, and I just kind of drew the place silent. And it was a line out of Rounders, like I need that, like I need your fucking cock in my ass, you know. And I
need this job like I need herpes in my mouth.
But I was so proud of my fucking little 17-year-old bold ass self, like telling this fucking grown man who I was just so tired of his shit. I was so tired of it, and like, yeah, I can eat a lot of shit. I really can. I'm pretty good at it. I'm a good shit eater, you know? But in this case, I was just fucking done with this little pipsqueak. And this is also like...
How old is Gary at the time? You're
Gary's
17.
50, probably.
I feel like he's going to be like some 22-year-old.
No.
Just,
I would have taken that. I'd have fucking... Anybody in their mid-20s... I was a fucking meathead. At 17, 18, I liked my chances against a lot of people. If this dude was in his 20s, I'd have taken the fucking task. But he was an old man. He was an old man. I was so proud of myself. What was your first job? Taco Bell?
Taco Bell. You want to know how I got the job?
Yep.
Okay, so me and my friends decide, like my best friend at the time, my best friend to this day, really, we always thought it'd be cool because he was the first to get his own apartment. I was 17 at the time. I was 16. I was 16 at the time. He's about a year older than me, and he gets his first apartment. And we thought it'd be really cool to steal a picnic table and put it inside of his apartment. He was a shift leader at a well-respected, reputable shift leader at Taco Bell at the time. So one night, we're out at this camping spot. It's me, him, this other douche that we didn't even really like, and the girl that we're friends with. And we're just out, about 25 minutes outside of Jacksonville, Illinois, where we're originally from. And we're camping, and there's booze involved quite a bit. And we are in a van that my friend and a couple other guys had purchased together, and they thought, oh yeah, let's get a van. Let's be the cool guys with a van.
Sure.
So they get the van and they get all artsy with it, and you got the Daddy Teddies,
Mm-hmm.
Daddy Bears.
Yep.
The Pink Floyd hammers, and some other,
Sure,
just very stereotypical
stoner.
Fucking, no creativity to it, but at the same time very creative, I guess. So we got that van for the weekend, and we decide to leave the camp spot to go to this park about 20 minutes away and steal a picnic table. And we're just piss and vinegar kids. We think this is just a brilliant idea. And so we load up in the van, the three of us. The girl stays at the campsite. She's a wilderness person. She's fine on her own out there. She lives in like the mountains in Colorado and stuff like that to this day. But so we go out to this park. We look at we get the picnic table, and it's like bolted down. And we're like, oh, we can't move this thing. We're gonna have to go get some bolt cutters or something. So we load up in the van, and I guess I'm like pretty intoxicated at the time. So I don't really remember even hardly being at the park or, what the next plan was. But we did end up back on the highway towards the camp spot. And next thing I know, I wake up, and I'm covered in dirt, and I got blood running down my face.
Okay.
And I'm being pulled out of a van. By my friend who was driving,
okay.
Who, fell asleep, going very fast.
Oh, shit.
Apparently, the highway curved, and we just kept on going. All of us passed out drunk in like a speeding van.
Oh, fuck, dude.
So we've rolled this thing, I think they said 5 times. Completely true. It was upside down, headlights on, beaming into the sky, dust just everywhere, kicked up, just this plume of dust bellowing out over the highway. And we're like, besides the headlights, we can't see shit.
Sure.
We're out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So my buddy, this one dude, he's got glass stuck in his arm, but outside of that, he seems all right. And he's one of those big, goofy dudes that are just too dumb to know when they're hurt. And I think he was actually awake when it happened, but also very drunk. And my friend, he had split his head open. And he took his shirt off and had it wrapped around his head and just had blood dripping down his upper body with this shirt wrapped around his head.
Okay.
I had a dinger from a loose radio, one of those big blocks.
Yeah.
Well, there's a loose one in the back.
Oh, and it just blasted you in the head?
I think that's what got me. That got me. I think it got
and
both
knocked
of
you
us.
out?
It didn't knock me out. I was already knocked out.
Right.
I was just being thrown around like clothes in a dryer. And I had some bruised ribs. And I was just really banged up. And they said if I hadn't been passed out, I would have taken a lot more injury because I would have naturally, tightened up. But because I was just nothing. I was just this slinky just flopping around in this thing. And I wake up like, what the hell happened? Like all this dirt had came into the van. And I had it in my mouth and everything. So we take off walking. We're like, fuck that van. We just take off
fuck that
walking.
van.
We're like, we need to find civilization. So we find a farmhouse. And these lights are on. And it's like this old elderly couple, and we knock on the door and like, oh my God, come in. And oh man, they brought us inside and gave us Dr. Peppers and called the police.
Oh, that's very nice of them.
Yeah, so we're standing on the highway and the cops come and we're smoking cigarettes, and the cops made us put our cigarettes out, and they put us in the back of the cop car. It's like, man, we're in so much trouble. And then the cop opens up and goes, hey guys, you're getting on the ambulance, you're going to the hospital. We're like, okay. So we get, and the whole time I want to ask if we're being arrested, but I'm like, I'm not going to fuck. That's like asking if there's homework, Friday right before you leave school. It's like, I'm not going to be that guy. Everybody just shut up. So they take us to the hospital. We get sewn up, and my parents show up, and we've been close ever. Me and this guy, we've been best friends ever since. And he, about a week later, he asked me, he's like, hey, do you want a job at Taco Bell? And I was like, yeah, dude, I've never had a job before. That'd be pretty.
That sounds pretty rad.
Sweet. I'm getting to the point where I probably, I have a sweet Ford Tempo, man. I got to keep gassing it. I got a 92 Ford Tempo. A real pussy wagon there, Craig.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
So
everybody had a 92
he's
Ford
like,
Tempo.
I told the manager to give you a job. I was like, I almost killed this motherfucker. I should get, and he wants a job. So that's basically how I got the job.
Anything crazy ever happen at Taco Bell?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Oh God, I was telling you.
How long did you work there?
A year, and in that year, we turned that place was lit. We had I've had girls show us their titties at like 3 in the morning.
Well, sure.
Like weekends at like 2 or 3 in the morning. The drive-through, just the bars
would
get
be
out,
lit.
Cars just show up like, here we go,
Yep.
and it's just
was this in Jerseyville? I mean Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. One person after another can barely read the menu, and they are all out on the street driving together.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, wow. If you think about it, at the time, it was just a little fucking renegade, man.
For sure.
But thinking back now, I'm like, man, that is a scary thought. A lot of those people were very intoxicated, and they were going through, and I didn't even know if they knew what they ordered half the time. Like, quesadilla, burrito, tacos.
It's all the same ingredients.
Is
just
it
throw
2
it.
tacos, or can I get 3? And we're like, throw some shit in a bag. This dude's not going to know. Like, you just don't wake up surrounded by rappers and be like, oh, I guess I ate Taco Bell.
I got roofied once
So
and woke up to a full bag of Taco Bell on the counter. And, man, I've never been so happy to see something in the morning, I don't think.
Real quick, I forgot. Somebody asked, but I forgot to mention, we never actually, we were at the hospital, and that's when I paused for a second. I was kind of trying to think, but no, we never got arrested or charged for anything. So
cool.
You were roofied. And I got some more on Taco Bell in a sec.
Okay.
You want to hear it?
Nice. I do want to hear it.
We got raided by cops.
You got raided by cops?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the Taco Bell did. Let's leave people with that for a minute. What do you got, Craig?
Well, I tell you what, that seems like a really good spot.
Did I tell you
Jesse
I was fucking
Hickman
crazy when I was a teenager?
It sounds like it. Jesse Hickman picked number 6, so I think maybe we should just give him video number 6.
Oh, you want to go ahead and do a video?
Yeah, and then we'll come back and we'll tell him about the cops breaking in on you.
Okay, let's do it. Hold on. Actually, you know what? Let me scroll through here real quick, Craig. Yeah. Video number 6. Sorry about the delay. You gotta love these live shows, but video number 6. Here we go.
He's the strongest one. He's the coolest one. He's the strongest one. He's the coolest one.
The strongest one in the schoolyard. The coolest one in the schoolyard. He's the strongest one in the schoolyard. He's the coolest one in the schoolyard.
Falling in love again in the schoolyard. Again I'm falling in love again in the schoolyard. I'm falling in love again.
We fell in love in the schoolyard. She's looking at me oh so hard. In the schoolyard we don't play games. In the schoolyard it's not about fame. In the schoolyard you fall in love. The schoolyard is all about love. When you fall in love in the schoolyard, you fall in love in the schoolyard. Dreams, and the schoolyard is not as it seems. In the schoolyard is where we fall, but don't forget who you are.
Schoolyard is where we fell in love, so strong and cool. The schoolyard is where the magic's happening. schoolyard is where the magic lives, yeah.
Leo Shaboom and Lacey Finelli with "In the Schoolyard."
Great song. I love the new wave.
It really is a great little tune. I miss those two like crazy. I haven't seen them very much.
We did not ever get the picnic table either. We didn't get DWI. We didn't get any trouble, but we did. We also never got.
You didn't complete your mission.
Table. It was not a fruitful endeavor.
Well.
And we tracked a lot of mud in those people's house.
That sucks.
I think
I'm sure they were happy to help you.
They were freaked out. It was like 2 a.m.
I'm sure they were pretty freaked out by
somebody
by
did
the
go
mud
find
people.
our friend out in the woods and make sure she was okay too. She was so mad.
Okay.
And somebody found her in the tent and was like, "Hey, they're in the hospital. They are gonna die. They were in a bad car accident." She's like, "That better be true because I'm mad. They better be almost dead." It was crazy. So I went on to work at Taco Bell for a while, and I was promoted to shift manager within like 6 months, man.
Nice.
Oh,
Look at you go.
It's funny. Like I was in charge of people.
How old were you?
17, and at the time by now, and I'm in charge of like middle-aged people that are like, "Fuck this job. This is the end of the line for me."
I get it.
Now I got this fucking punk kid in charge.
Yeah, I get it.
But yeah, like I said, it would get pretty crazy at night. We had a guy come through, and he was like all trashed, and he's like, "Here's a little something for putting up with my drunk ass." And he tossed my buddy a crumpled up napkin with a big old nug in it, some flame. We're like, "Dude, let's get lit up." So we smoked that. Like, dude, this is like the best weed I've ever had. A few days later, see him in a cop uniform.
For real?
Yeah, on duty.
That's fucking awesome. Cool.
Fucking cops. So we might have been selling or providing
How long ago?
We're looking at.
Well, how old are you right now? 35?
I'm 30. I'm 36 now. Saturday.
36 on Saturday.
Saturday.
When everybody's going to come out to Benton Parkade.
Benton Parkade.
Yeah, statute of limitations. You're right.
So, long story short, we were selling weed out of the place, and I'm trying to think of a way to put it, but yeah.
Hey, you were selling reefer.
We're flipping grass.
Bunch of fucking criminals.
Basically what happened was we were doing that, and like us and the KFC and a few other places, we were all like a circle, all of us guys at high school, and we had like these very
Were you guys a connected Taco Bell and KFC? Were you one of those?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like where you
yeah,
could order...
KFC and Taco Bell are owned by the same
they're owned by Yum Brands.
And we
like,
would do a meal sharing too. That was cool.
But I mean, did you guys share a building with the KFC?
No.
You know how they have those, like where they got like.
We were like a block. We were like 2 blocks.
Gotcha.
Away.
Okay.
But yeah, and we had like very specific orders, and you'd like, okay, go ahead and come around. It's like, oh, it's this dude, and then that was the code.
No shit.
Yeah, that was the code for I'm here to buy.
That's legit, dude.
Mm-hmm. We had a business going down, dude.
That's a business.
I feel like I'm being interviewed on Vice right now.
Yeah.
Like, man, we were making that money.
Yeah. No shit.
Choco tacos.
Was it pretty fruitful?
Getting high as fuck.
You spend it all on Taco Bell?
We didn't spend a dime on that.
I know.
Food. I ate thousands of dollars
I
worth.
know, dude. I know.
Every day I was
Dude, I would make like a
bigger
steak burrito with like sour cream, guacamole, rice, jalapenos, some onions. Like,
but that guacamole was gnarly, though.
Yeah, it wasn't
too
good.
gnarly.
Yeah.
It came in a bag.
Yeah.
If you want to know, it looked like
everything came in a bag.
Icing. It looked like green icing.
The fucking beans were
tube.
like powder.
Mm-hmm.
And you had to like pour hot water into them.
Yeah, I remember that. You had to get the bun water out of the machine to mix with the powder, and it made beans.
Yeah.
It's like, beans all of a sudden.
Yeah,
what
man.
will they think of next? That was great. And it was as cool as that job was. It was kind of embarrassing when you're in there and you're at the time we had those late 90s, early 2000, early aught kind of.
Like the navy and purple.
Purple, navy, red, yellow, and green with the pepper and the pepper name tag. And you're sitting there and like you're taking orders and like a group of hot girls from school come in. You're like, oh. And they order and you're like all embarrassed. You're standing there in your flash uniform.
Yeah,
but you know, outside of that, we were we were enjoying our lives, and suddenly one of the guys, there was a pending lawsuit regarding a van accident that we covered. So there was a dispute how much money was owed.
Okay.
I'm not going to get too into the details of that because, well, first of all, I don't really know too many.
Sure.
But this guy was mad. and the friendship, it was over. They had a
Damn.
complete fallout, and
Damn, bro.
So I became his new best friend.
Yeah, fuck
and
yeah.
I had his back the whole time. But
Good for you. You're a way better friend than him.
He knew about the weed. He knew about the codes. He might not have known about that, but he knew about the weed, and he totally fucking sang like a canary.
Yeah.
So I come, and I got to go make a run. So I show up to Taco Bell, and they're busy on the inside. I'm like, I don't have time to go in and tell them what I'm doing. So I'm just going to grab the stash and take off. So I go outside to this light fixture where you could open it up, and there'd be weed in there. So I grab the weed, and I dip down the road. Literally behind me, as I'm going down the road, a bunch of cops come in. They come into the store, and they search my dude. They question him, and then they bring him outside, and they're like,
that looks pretty sus, dude.
They're
You
like,
blew out right before the cops got there?
My friend's parents drove by and watched him getting searched outside in his Taco Bell uniform. They're like, oh, he's at work. Our young man, he's learning the important lessons in life, carrying down a job, and they drive by. He's a shift manager. That's great. And they drive by, and he's being searched outside of Taco Bell by police.
Holy fucking
And they're like,
holy.
we know where it's at. So they go open up the thing, the light fixture you can lift up. And I'm referring to those concrete blocks that have the light poles.
Yeah.
And there's this metal part at the bottom you could lift up. So, and he goes, man, fuck. He lifts it up. There's nothing in there because I had just grabbed it. He had no fucking clue. So I didn't have time to text him on my singular flip phone because I think that's
Naturally.
what I had. No, I don't even think that was around yet. I don't think I had any phone.
Probably not.
I don't think so.
And like, if you were 17?
No, I think I was at my next job once I had my sweet singular. Remember singular?
Oh yeah.
Everybody's
A bunch of people got
phone.
razors and
razors were the. Everybody's like,
Dude, I was on Nextel with that chirp.
So
T-Mobile had like the My 5, whatever.
So I come back later and I go inside. I'm like, hey, bro, what's? And he goes, do you have the weed? I'm like, yeah, I still got some. He goes, get the fuck off this property right now. We got raided earlier tonight. And I was like, what? He goes, get out of here. I just, no questions asked. I got out to my car. I'm driving down the road. I'm just like, what is going on? I'm sitting here like my heart, dude, it fell into my stomach, and my stomach pushed down into my balls. And I'm just sitting here numb in my car like I'm scared. I don't know what to do. I'm a kid. I've never been in. I'm just like.
Any kind of trouble?
I've been in trouble every day of my life.
But with the cops?
Not to this degree.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in handcuffs. But I'm just like, dude, we have what to me seemed at the time a pretty big and legit operation. And it was, pretty much.
For sure, dude.
Especially then, that time frame, for people that age, doing something out of a business like that. That's some serious shit. So the cops couldn't do anything. It's just like, it's his word against yours at this point. He's just, it's whatever. This guy's suing me for this van thing. So the cops are like, okay, if this is going to be some back and forth bullshit, we'll stay out of it. But don't be selling weed out of the goddamn Taco Bell. But at the moment, I was really scared. I was like, the whole thing fell through. We thought we were the shit.
Yeah.
We thought we were Tits McGee, and the whole thing just collapsed. So, but, we dodged bullet
you
after
dodged a
bullet.
fucking bullet there,
We
bud.
were some bullet dodge.
I was always very fortunate on that too. I've only been arrested once. Like, I've only gone to jail.
You've only been arrested once in your life?
I've only gone to jail once.
Wow.
Dude, I'm really good with words. I know they say to shut the fuck up, but for the most part, I'm pretty good about.
I didn't shut the fuck up.
I'm pretty good about
I was the
getting
one
out.
I'm the reason they tell you that. Guys like me, it's best just to shut up.
But I mean, the one time I did get put in cuffs one time, and he didn't end up arresting me. He wrote me a ticket, but he came into our apartment. And to be fair, I was smoking I was going through a box of 50 Swisher Sweets about every 2 days. So we were just blunting that motherfucker out, dude. Like, I was selling I was a fair amount, but to relatively few people, I didn't really have traffic or anything like that. But the problem is that we did like chong this apartment complex out, and the neighbors next door were not hip, and eventually called us in. And so like it was after work one day. I had just sold like the last half that I had, and get a knock on the door, and I had just taken a fucking massive rip off of this blunt, and I opened the door. It was a cop, and I was like, oh. and just blew a fucking cloud of smoke right in his fucking face, dude.
That's gangster
And I'm
shit.
like,
You're gonna go down.
God damn it. It wasn't like me being a dick. Like, it was me, like, the air getting knocked out of me. I was like, oh. It was just fucking pot smoke. And he's like, I can come in now. And I'm like, yeah, I suppose you got probable cause. You know. So he comes in, and he's got me sitting there, and I'm shaking like a dog shitting peach seeds, dude. Like, just because I'd never really gotten in trouble. And, like, you know, and he was like, you know, he's like, all right, well, I'm going to bring the dogs in. He goes, and they find anything else, you know, I'm going to take you to jail. And I was like, okay, fair enough. You know, couple things. Leave me my zong, because they were taking all of my paraphernalia and everything. We had a pretty good lot of bongs and pipes and shit like that. And I was like, can you at least leave the zong? I can't even get one of those anymore. Like, it's a piece of art, you know, like. And he's like, oh yeah, he's like fucking kind of laughing, he's like, it's a piece of art. And I'm like, no, really it is. The guy's fucking gone. Like, they don't make them anymore. Can you just, you know? Wasn't cool about that. And then he's like, all right, anything else you want to tell me? And I'm like, I was racking my brain. I'm like, not that I can really think of, you know? And then I was like, oh, and this is back then, like, kind of, like, you might, every now and then, like, even as somebody who was, like, flipping a pretty good deal, like, good mids, like, it was the fucking best market, dude, because people are happy to buy Reggie, but, like, if it doesn't cost that much more for mids, and you got, like, these big fluffy fucking buds that didn't have fucking seed packed in them, like, everybody wanted my fucking weed. Oh, yeah. You know, it was the fucking spot to be. But every now and then, I would spend fucking retail on like an eighth of some fucking kind nugs, you know, and just smoke just little bits at a time just to taste truly exotic weed, you know. And I remember, like, because I'm not gonna fucking pay $60 an eighth or $50 an eighth, whatever. I'm not gonna do that. I'm still not gonna do that, by the way. Like, with fucking dispensaries or whatever, I'm not going. There's no value in that for me. And so, but I'm not. You know, everybody else, whatever people are comfortable with paying, that's their fucking thing. That's just my thing. So I'm like, oh, well, there is one other thing. I lost a bag of some of the fucking greatest pot I've ever smoked. So if you guys find that, I truly, like, I was like, there could very well be a hidden bag of the fucking greatest pot probably in town somewhere around here. And I would be fucking grateful if your dog found it, just so that it stops driving me crazy where this fucking weed went, you know? And I was like, but outside of that, I don't know of anything else, you know? He was convinced that he was going to come in and get this big bust. Nothing came of it. It was just fucking me. One thing that was actually kind of nice was for the very first time in my life, I had tried to cultivate, like, a plant. And I had, like, a little plant growing out on my balcony. And I remember we left town or something, and when I came back, it was dead.
Oh,
and so I just I threw it out, and I'm really fucking glad I did. I'm glad I threw that cocksucker out, because a day later, they came in. They could have probably got me on a cultivation charge or something back then. So all that shit always, you know, just played out for the best. And I just realized that's not. I don't want to do this for money anymore. You know, I did still for a little while.
It's the game, baby.
Yeah, it's the game.
It's the game.
Actually, I remember talking to a cop. He's like, oh, I know he's good. You know, yeah, I remember this cop saying, nobody's the good guys or the bad guys. He's like, we're just playing for different teams. Sometimes I win. Most of the time, you guys win.
Most of the time, yeah.
That's what he. I mean,
long shot.
And that's what he was acknowledging. You know.
For every drug deal that goes down, that gets busted, 500,000 get away.
I don't know. No, I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
250,000.
Dude, I'll tell you what.
Because there's people buying drugs right now all over state.
Listening to that When to Change podcast, the dude that was kind of involved with getting this show to play in Russia, and it consisted of Scorpions, Skid Row, Ozzy Osbourne, with Black Sabbath with Zakk Wylde. There you go. And then Motley Crue.
Damn.
And
this is the like
1990
80s equivalent of that fucking butt metal show you went to. Who was on that roster?
Yeah, on mine, it was a big one, but it was Velvet Revolver, Stain, Seven Dust, Disturbed, Finch. 3 Days Grace, Finger
That's
11,
the one.
Finger
3 Days
11.
Grace. A lot of people were there for 3 days. They probably had as many
Actually,
fans as Finch.
Maybe that's possible, but their music kind of sounded like the rest of the people's music. That's hilarious. Number 4 was picked. What time we got here?
We got enough time to play a video and then do some streaming.
Let's do it. Number 4 was picked, so why don't we go ahead and do that, and then we'll do some streaming, and then maybe we'll do a video, and then we'll get out of here, or we'll just get out of here. So this is video number 4, picked by Missy Bliss.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here for this congressional hearing talking about the Drug Abuse Resistance and Education Program. Many of you may have known as DARE, D-A-R-E. I'm Senator Fulllovett from Covington, Louisiana, and we are joined here today by Mr. Darren, the Dare Lion, and I'd like to get some questions answered about the effectiveness of this here program that was instated in 1983, and just to see how far along we've come with this here program, keeping the youth of America, the children of our future, off of these terrible, terrible drugs. Mr. Lion, Darren, Mr. Lion, in your opinion, your humble opinion, do you think that the DARE program has been a success?
Well, that depends on what you consider a success. I don't have the numbers with me.
Well, now let me clear a few things up for you there, Mr. Lion. In the last 10 years, according to a study that came across my desk from PhD DJ Hansen, the effectiveness of the DARE program, 2014, over a 10-year period, we have seen increases of 29% in drug use and 34% in tobacco use. Now, I travel all along great state of Louisiana talking to my constituents. I have seen what these drugs have done to my community. I would like to know, sir, if you still think whether or not this has been a success.
I thought I was doing good things. I swear I didn't. And to God, I didn't know how this was all going to turn out. I went in there. I was looking for some work, found a job. It's hard for a lion to get work. And it seemed like we were helping the kids. So I don't know.
A 34% increase in tobacco use. While just the other day, just before I hopped on the Pontchartrain Bridge, I was headed in and I was going to get some beignets down there in New Orleans. I saw a 7-year-old boy smoking a Marlboro Red on the side of the road. Is that the America you want to live in, sir?
No, sir.
Well, now I gave you the stats on 2014. Let's go back. Let's go back to when I was just a young and up and coming little whippersnapper. In 1992, let's see, a study from 98 said between 92 and 95, they found a 59% increase in illegal drug use among high school seniors. Can you believe that? Ain't even out in the world on their own. Haven't even taken a chance on life yet, and they're already all caught up in the damn dirty devil drugs.
You gonna put that on me? Now it's my fault to watch all the kids? I don't know. I was trying to help. I didn't know what was going on. Listen, I'm a simple lion. I didn't know what was going on. I was just there for a paycheck.
Mr. Lion, you're going to have to help me understand how something...
Depression. So maybe cannabis can help you live a better quality of life. Did we know those things back then? Maybe. I don't know. I don't understand why you're putting this all on me. I'm an actor. I'm out there reading a script. And now you bring me in front of all these lovely taxpayers and say I'm the reason kids are experimenting with their consciousness? A talking lion? I don't think so. It's ridiculous. I want the people at home to do their own research. Find out your own facts about this stuff, because the war on drugs is a war on you.
Is Darren Lyon testifying before Congress on his he's also on a little apology tour as well. Seth, what's going on this weekend, pal?
Oh, we're gonna be partying at the Benton Parkade Saturday night.
Sweet.
I turned 36, but don't bring me any presents. But if you want to, that's fine too. But no, the real reason, it's a little anniversary party for us as well. It's a little. Here's our new sponsor kind of thing. It's a lot of things wrapped in one.
For sure.
It's also the pandemic is basically over kind of thing too as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going to full. Did you see that? Restaurants are allowed to go to full
saw that.
capacity.
The city and county are
and how about
full capacity.
I hate getting political on the show, but Joe Biden's just too much fun to fucking make fun of. How about his speech about, like, you no longer have to wear a mask if you're outside? Like, all this shit we've been doing the whole time. It's just like when your parents are, like, lecturing you about something, you're like, oh, yeah.
Okay.
You're right. I guess we can do that.
I guess we can start doing that again.
We haven't been doing that.
It's a tale of, there's just a lot of people living a lot of different realities, man. Right.
He's
now.
not living anything close to what we're living at all.
I figure they. What time y'all gonna be out here? Dusty said.
I don't know. I'm probably
so.
Gonna
Let me kind of give my.
It's no like timed event. I'll probably be here. I'm gonna be here about 5.
Yeah, there's no set deal. So let me tell you what I'm heading. I will be out of town Friday. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm way disconnected, Seth, right now. I can feel like I need a reset, bud. I need to put my feet in the earth, and I've been talking to Miss about this for weeks, like how I just feel completely disconnected from everything, and I gotta get back connected with some shit. So I had kind of a little trip planned to the woods on Friday, planning to come back like Saturday evening, do a little floating, spend the night overnight, and then finish the float up, and then kind of be just hoping to kind of connect with nature for an extended period of time. So I'm gonna be rolling in off of that, but I want to get. This place is so cool. Mm-hmm. Like Cafe Piazza's food is so cool. I saw some video that you were shooting today of Tim, making a pie. And
Tim had a baby yesterday.
Oh shit!
Yeah. Or today.
Oh shit! Today?
Today.
Congratulations
to our sponsor.
That's awesome.
Tim. So he won't. I don't think he's gonna be there Saturday, but we'll see.
Okay. Well, yeah, I wouldn't think so.
How many people need to be there for the king? At all times.
Well, you're right.
Just one adult.
Yeah, but it turns
Can't there
out
just be a day where just one adult? It's like, I got the kid.
I got
Everyone
this,
do your thing.
I got this thing under control. Yeah, it could be that, but I wouldn't expect it for that particular night. Maybe. But anyway, point is, this place is awesome, and I watched you. I've never seen how things really go in the back, in the kitchen, and so. You don't really think that like a pizza joint is actually, throwing this dough and dressing everything up and then wood firing it it's a legit little endeavor, like watching it all go. I just figured you guys have like a belt you throw it on, whatever.
Fuck no, it's art. It's an art gallery, and that trickles down into the food as well. Everything about it's artistic in a way. It's community.
I dig it. Yeah, it is. Well, that's...
And that's, we got the games. There's more art over there.
Checks a lot of boxes, man. It's really cool. It's a cool space. The art's killer. There's art for sale. The arcade's got a couple of great pinball machines. It's got an NBA Jam. Turns out I'm rusty as a motherfucker on arcade-style NBA Jam. I embarrassed myself the other day.
I'm just rusty on arcade. I've never been good at arcade games. I've never gotten through the first round of a fighting game.
I've always been kind of a pinball guy.
Pinball? They got pinball.
Yeah.
They got a few more games since you've been there last.
Yeah, they got the basketball. They got some darts going. Got a couple good
Donkey Kong, the classic.
They got Donkey Kong in there?
I think so.
No shit.
They got like an old school.
It's a cool little spot. You get great food.
I think it's like a
drinks.
remake. I don't think it's an original one.
It's a good little hang. It'll be a good little spot for the Hoosiers to hang. A really fun way to spend your time on Saturday. Come tell
possibly
us,
be
Seth,
able
happy
to
birthday.
come.
You're not a drinker anymore.
No. May 7th will be 10 months.
10 months on May 7th. Okay. Well, that's
the day before
Friday.
Yeah.
Good for you.
I'm excited.
Yeah,
I feel healthy.
You keeping it going?
Oh yeah, right now.
Like, do you have any cravings?
Fuck no, I don't miss it at all.
You don't miss drinking?
When I think about it, I cringe.
Yeah.
I used to drink Fireball. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck that. Yeah.
I smelled Fireball one day. I go, I used to drink this.
Yeah, I still don't understand.
This is you talking about a Hoosier drink? That not even. That's just
dude,
that's a
remember,
douche drink.
Yeah, well, I mean, I remember like as a kid, like there was
That's
on
a
nights
chode-ass
when
drink,
like
dude.
aunts and uncles or like parents or something, when they were getting loose, like at fucking 4th of July part, like all day, barbecue / drink fest. Like I remember when they were getting loose is like when Hot Damn would come out of the fucking freezer or something. They'd be doing some Hot Damn shots or something. I'm like, I don't think I want to drink cinnamon, man. It's never really been my gig. Closest thing to it, I'll get down on Goldschlager.
Oh, Goldschlager. That goes down pretty smooth.
Yeah.
Is it worth anything? Can you break the bottle and get those little gold flakes?
It's gold.
Smelt them down.
I suppose you could. I mean,
but
I have a pretty good relationship with alcohol. I like to think.
I don't.
Yeah.
It turned its back on me.
Okay, that's
fair. It started with that fucking van, and it never stopped.
And it never stopped.
And
huh?
we just finally had to break up.
You ever black out drunk? I mean, outside of like whenever. I'm serious. Like I've only blacked out drunk once in my life, and it was because like it was the first time in my life I'd ever. And
You're talking
first
about
and
like
last
you just
time,
don't remember anything.
First and last time I ever took Xanax.
Okay, well that definitely I think played a hand.
But
in
yeah, totally. But like outside of that, I'd never really. I mean, I guess I did tell that story about kind of passing out on the way to Springfield after pissing in my dad's car. But outside of that, like I've always remembered every moment up until the moment where I went out. So to me, that's not like blacking out. You know what I mean? Blacking out to me is like
blacking out is like I've had nights where I wake up and I'm like sitting in my room going through my phone feeling terrible, feeling like a zombie, like somebody zapped me back to life with a car battery.
Yeah,
and I'm just up walking around, and I just feel terrible. And I'm going through my phone looking at messages and just hoping to God, like what am I gonna find out about last night? Because I don't remember anything. I'm like getting little pieces. You know when you like. Throughout the day when you start to remember your dream from the night before and you're seeing like flashes of it, but you can't quite put it together. Like it's that bad. Like your actual physical night. Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Like that's the thing is like, I actually have pretty, I don't know if healthy is the right word, but I have pretty fond, good memories of alcohol in my life. And so like I certainly recognize it, for the problems that it causes in many people's lives. Terrible. I know a lot of people that booze is more destructive than, I mean, as far as like tangentially in my circle. Excuse me. Booze is more. Booze is like has probably destroyed more families than any other drug or anything kind of close to me, and probably even more so than that. Extending out. But for the most part, man, like. I grew up around jovial drunks, I really did. Like everybody who ever had a buzz around me, like when I was a kid, was having a good fucking time, and I was exposed to it pretty often, and so it's kind of impressed itself on me, I suppose. And I've always thought that. And like, I have noticed that there are certain things that might make me a touch more aggressive. So like, I don't typically drink rum because for whatever reason rum makes me
get you. Most guys it's
aggressive.
Like, most guys it's like whiskey or tequila, whiskey and makes me want to fight.
I drink whiskey and tequila, and I'm nothing but hugs and laughs.
I've had too many rum and cokes.
But if I get
fight
some
somebody,
rum in me, I'm just kind of a little shorter.
I'm gonna pick a fight.
I think I'm just a little shorter with people, which is funny
because of rum and cokes.
I'm gonna go pick a fight. Hey,
I've had too many sea breezes.
I hate my dad, but I feel great. Chris Farley of Wayne's World.
That's a good one. I think that's the second one. I think. Yep. That's a good one. To answer Dusty's question, I'd say
6.
I'll be here about 5 or 6. I don't expect people to come quite that early. We're just gonna be hanging out.
It'll be
probably midnight or so. 1 in the morning.
It'd be at least 6 for me.
So 6, 7. That's fine. What should the code be? We gotta have a code.
Should we have a password?
Yeah, we should have a password.
Password for the Hoosiers.
How about what should the password be? How about look behind you? How about they have to tell everybody that they're here for a vicious racket with its arms around your children?
Yes. There you go. I'm here for a vicious racket with its arms around my children.
I'm here to learn the truth. That's what we should tell people. We're here
Really
for the
good.
truth.
That's just culty enough. We should totally do that.
Okay. So just tell them you're
At
here.
the door, say, you're here. I'm ready to hear the truth.
You're ready to hear the truth.
I'm here and I'm ready to hear the truth. It always makes me think
do that devil's racket shit too.
You can do that too. I'll get you a drink.
That'll get you in.
If you remember that, I'll buy you a drink.
Craig will buy. Oh, watch out! They can freeze frame.
No, they can't read it off their phone. They have to do it word for word off the top of their head.
They can memorize that. They can't see the whole thing in the shot.
No.
Speaking of which, just want to give a shout out to one of the hardest working men in media, and to let everybody know he certainly does suck. What do you think of that, Craig?
Dan Buffa sucks.
It's just, first of all, you know what doesn't suck? This fucking T-shirt, because it's super comfortable.
It's nice.
It's nice. What sucks is, what sucks worse than waiting 2 months for a fucking shirt that you paid $30 for?
It's too big for you 'cause you lost too much
Just
weight.
a black shirt with some white lettering for $30, and it take 2 months. You know what sucks worse than that? Dan Buffa. I love Dan Buffa though, even though he sucks.
I gotta respect Dan's hustle, man.
So if somebody wants
Dan's doing
to take a screenshot of this and send it to me, that'd be cool.
Dan is doing the damn thing, man. Dan's writing. Dan gets like a vote in the Oscars and shit. Like Dan's doing the fucking thing.
He does?
Yeah, he gets like a fucking. I think so. I could be talking.
He does the movie reviews.
He's
the
writing
entertainment
for the Jewish
segment
Light now
on
too. He
Good
also
Morning
has a thing
St.
on
Louis or
Fox,
something.
on Channel 2.
Yeah. Is that what he's doing? He's it's hard. He's all over the place.
I'd love to have Dan in here.
KSDK.
I'd love to riff movies and fucking
we've
baseball
talked.
with Dan.
I told him about this place. We've talked.
He ought to come up here. I love Dan.
I will wear this shirt. Yo, yeah. We should all have these shirts on when he comes in.
You know what I want to do? I want to talk about how if these people don't use James Carlton State Farm for their insurance, how if they don't, they could do. There's like one simple thing they could do to make me really raise my opinion of them as individuals, and that's call 314-961-4800 and just let James Carlton increase the value of their insurance. Like, you're going to go to this guy, you're going to probably pay him less money, and all of your stuff is going to be better protected, and the customer service is going to make you say, these guys have been saying this for over 3 years. These guys have been saying James Carlton's the best. Why am I just now getting around to this? CarltonInsurance.net. But I'll tell you what, once you do it, even on the off chance that he can't save you money, he's going to say, hey, listen, you got a pretty good deal where you're at right now. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'll give you a buzz if for some reason I think I can come in and beat their rates. But for now, I just hope that you are happy where you're at. And like, he's so gracious in telling you to stay where you're at, getting a rate that you're like, oh, fuck this. I'm going with James Carlton, who's the best State Farm insurance agent. He's the best insurance agent.
With the best head of hair.
With the best head of hair. Beautiful brown eyes. He loves the boss.
Such
what's more American than
a looking guy?
What's better than that? What's better than
dreamy.
that? He is. Everything about him. If you look at him, that looks like a guy that knows the entire catalog of Bruce Springsteen. He looks like it. And somebody shared with his dad. He was on XM radio talking about it. We love James Carlton. 314-961-4800.
How you doing down there, buddy?
4800.
CarltonInsurance.net.
Sweetleaf. You see what Sweetleaf does is they make
that way.
pipes. Sweetleaf makes pipes, and they make. They carry USA made glass. They've got all of the CBD, kratom, papers, blunts, palm wraps, body jewelry,
nipple
crystals, nipple rings for sure,
cock rings.
I didn't. Maybe a couple of barbells for like an ampelang or a PA, but I didn't really see any real cock rings per se. But he'll blow you. He'll blow you. He'll blow you if you go there. But he'll also blow you custom glass, which includes but is not limited to rectal toys. That's Sweet Leaf. They're in Farmington, and they're also
a little something to tickle the bungus.
Yes, yeah, a little something to just kind of click the mouse a little bit.
You know, yeah.
So that's that's what Sweet Leaf's going to do for you. They're going to help educate you if you have any questions about cannabis, how to get your card. There's a million different things. You just got to question. See, here's the thing, Seth. Before like a bunch of guys, with master's degrees and whatever, a few $1,000,000, like before they actually got like weed to be legal here in Missouri, like there was a bunch of people who were just passing on education and materials and apparatuses in order to enjoy cannabis. They've existed for a very long time. There's always been beacons for the culture. And the head shop, your local head shop that makes their own, that blows their own glass, who's always stood up for the rights of the patient and just the recreational user and everything. That's what Sweet Leaf is. For the last 20 years, they were the place that you could go and learn something about something. So give Sweet Leaf a little bit of love. Maybe you go down to Farmington this week and have Jason give you a brand new custom piece of glass that he blew. Maybe you do that. Or maybe you wait until Festus opens back up and the craziest, most coolest head shop / I'm not even going to tell you what the other side is. Let's just say Jason admitted to me on the phone when we were talking the other day about what was going to take place in Festus. He admitted to me that he was actually touching himself inappropriately as I was talking. That's how cool the plans are for the new Festus location.
Is he cool with you sharing that? Yeah, you didn't think. You forget you're on camera right now? Oh. Forget we're doing a thing here. You know what's funny, though, Craig? You fucking 2 hours into this thing, you do kind of start to goddamn forget.
What's that?
About people watching. And you'll say something like, oh, fuck, we're live. Especially when, like, back when it's like me, you, Steve, ripping.
Sure.
Next thing you know, you're just lost in a conversation.
Sure.
Like,
Yeah,
I don't care
I'm
what
just gone.
Like, I hope I didn't say anything
native hemp
homophobic
extract,
or something.
NativeHempExtract.com. If you enter code HOSO, you can get the Delta 8 gummies, you can get THCV gummies, you can get CBN gummies, you can get great hemp flour. It's freaking delicious, too, by the way. The 1,800 milligram tincture is back on shelves. The 1,500 milligram is in stock. Everything's in stock right now, and with code HOSO, you're going to save a significant amount. You're going to get the stuff shipped to your door, and it's going to be the best business you've ever done with any cannabis company anywhere in the world. Because guess what? Hemp is cannabis. Cannabis sativa L, guys. That's the deal. NativeHempExtract.com. Enter code HOSO at checkout, and they're going to help you out. And they'll always write you like nice messages. They send pictures, like family pictures. They send you a Christmas card. Once you have your address, you go on a mailing list. It's kind of weird.
Night before bed compared to now when I don't have it at this exact moment.
Yeah.
Night and day.
For real?
Oh yeah. I love putting a few drops on a snack, and then go and laying in bed and watching TV and just. It doesn't get you high like
no. It just lets you mellow, man.
Yeah,
it clears shit up. It does. It just for me, it just
off.
kind of quiets the noise a little bit. That's all. Like it makes
it's like a little virus scan for if your brain is a computer. It's just it gets all them junk files out of there.
Sure, yeah, a little defrag.
And if your computer is fucked, you gotta take LSD. Whether you like it or not, I don't care if it's terrifying.
You gotta go in.
I don't care if it's fucking terrible. You gotta break through.
That's how Tron happened. You gotta be careful with that shit.
But no, native hemp extract it's
awesome.
It's a fantastic product, and I highly recommend it.
And
out of anything you can pull your wallet out and buy,
it's worth it.
I recommend that.
It's worth it. That's the deal. I mean, there's so much stuff in the cannabis world that is just not worth it to me. Like I'm like, and luckily I'm fortunate enough that I'm not like a heavy, patient for like autoimmune issues or anything like that, but like for the most part, yeah, I mean, I
think everything's in your head, Craig.
You think so?
Yep. I just don't believe in COVID. That's why I've been fine this whole time. Even when I had it, I tested positive and was fine.
Yeah. Well,
I was freaking stayed home from the day before Thanksgiving till December 12th.
it's a long time, man.
Yep. Took everything out of my walk-in closet, reorganized it, remodeled, rearranged the furniture, cleaned.
Well, I mean, yeah.
I would I was running shit out to this dumpster and it hit me. I was
Oh,
like,
you motherfucker! You grandma killer! You left your house?
Yeah.
Oh, you.
Dude, I went to like Walgreens like every other day. I don't know why I didn't just buy enough stuff.
On COVID?
Oh yeah.
They're gonna arrest you for that. Like, I'm not worried
Put
about
a
you
mask
selling
on.
weed. I'm not worried about.
I
You selling
had
weed
to.
I'm
I had
worried
to
about
get
you selling weed out of Taco Bell, but they're gonna get you for that one, bud. You're going down.
I had to go get vitamin water and Gatorade, and I felt a little feverish in the morning, but outside of that, never really felt too sick.
Okay. You killed 4 or 5 grandparents.
What have you been watching?
Well, I'll tell you what. It's streaming, and sometimes
6 grandmothers.
We've made
9 if you count
exceptions
AIDS
like this in the past because I have not had an opportunity to watch a whole lot of anything. My wife's had Schitt's Creek on quite a bit in the last month, and I've pretty well consumed.
Okay,
like,
everybody
that
keeps telling me
show.
that's right up my alley.
Man,
I gotta watch it. They can't believe I don't watch it. They said the same shit about 30 Rock, which I finally did watch. Me and a friend, me and the guy that wrecked the fucking van together, we watched all of the 30 Rocks
This
one
is
night.
quirky.
And it was. I thought it was good.
This is not 30 Rock. I don't think.
I thought it would be kind of the way it was described. It sounded like the same humor.
Like, I love Eugene Levy. Okay. I love Eugene Levy. He's fucking great, and it's his.
He
kid.
turns every line.
It's his kid
every
that made
scene
this whole
funny.
show.
Yeah.
And if I'm being fucking like, all of the characters are just kind of the perfect amount of annoying, you know, to where you're like, yeah, that's pretty funny, but all of you are just easy to hate people. But that you kind of start to love. But you really do have to like for me, I had to muscle through it in the beginning a little bit, but it was easy going to bed. You know, like it was easy to watch kind of as I was winding down. And it progressively, there are some laugh out loud. Like I've had the gal that plays the mom, which is the gal that played Kevin McAllister's mom in Home Alone.
Mm-hmm. She's great.
She plays Moira. And she's
Beetlejuice, right?
Yeah, she's in Beetlejuice too. And it's kind of
she's
reminiscent.
Been in a lot of shit.
Yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of that Beetlejuice role. She's a fucking weirdo. I mean, they're all weirdos. They're super rich weirdos. So, I mean, I guess that's the only thing I can really think of as far as the watching goes. But I've been, like I was telling Will earlier, I've been listening to those podcasts. The When to Change podcast was pretty cool, dude. And I haven't really made a point of listening to any serial podcast where, like, you know, there's a beginning and an end to a story being told. Usually I just listen to conversational podcasts, you know. And it was to the point, luckily I had quite a bit of driving to do over, you know, the last week or so. Mm-hmm. And so I was in my car a bunch, and I finally knocked out When to Change, which I had started listening to last week after, you know, we were talking a little bit about, maybe 2 weeks ago when we started talking about if the FBI potentially funded those documentaries. Ryan turned me on to that, and that's what got me onto it. But dude, yesterday I had to drive to Columbia and back, and in the morning I was running around stuff, and so I started that Chippendales history, and that's my streaming pick. It's freaking... It was nostalgic just listening to it. I'm like, the 80s were wild, dude. Like, I didn't, like, and the only reason, like, the trailer is what got me pretty excited because, dude, it's got everything like an 80s action movie would have. Like, there's hitmen, there's, you know, mad drug use, there's a massive prostitution ring, there is basically 2 business owners that are basically trying to steal the company from one another. And it's like the biggest... It was just an entertaining listen, man. There was a couple times where Miss and I were listening to it driving to Columbia, and we both look at each other like, "What? No, that's crazy." Anyway, so it was pretty fun. That's my streaming pick. Is Welcome to Your Fantasy. is the name.
Welcome to your fantasy.
It's a Chippendales. It's on Spotify. Chippendales podcast.
All right. Well, The Devil You Know on Vice, that's new. That's tonight. There's a new episode tonight. I'm going to dive into that. They're going to have some episodes about lizard cults.
Cool.
So I'm definitely going to be watching that. Tomorrow, Star Wars Marathon for May 4th. Going to be taking the day off and enjoying some Star Wars. And
are you going to do it chronological? Are you going to do it? What are you going to do?
I'm just going to turn it on.
Oh, is it on a
Yeah,
station?
it's on. It's
so
on.
Wherever.
It's like 3 different stations, I think, that do it. Because May 4th, let's be hokey. I hate that shit, but it's Star Wars, so I'm going to watch. And I watched the first 3 episodes of The Irregulars over the weekend.
How's that? Because it's
a pretty cool show.
Yeah, I've been thinking
solid.
About checking that out.
It's like if Albert Hitchcock wrote Scooby Doo.
Okay.
It's like these kids that are recruited by Dr. Watson.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah. I watched the trailer. Yeah,
I don't know if Sherlock Holmes is going to be in it. They've referenced him. They've mentioned his name.
In the trailer. They said, "Oh, hey, that's him" or whatever. But I don't know if he was like they were.
I think they'll they'll have Sherlock Holmes in it. But right now, it's just kind of like he's like this mystery character. Like they mention him, but Dr. Watson he recruits these kids to solve groovy mysteries. A lot of weird stuff happens. Like children's teeth are being stolen by a tooth fairy, quote. It's a weird, dark kind of somewhat up my alley kind of show. And the reason he recruits him is because one of the girls who's like kind of messed up in the head, she doesn't realize it. She has all these nightmares and whatnot, but she doesn't realize it, but she has like this magical power to like see evil and see paranormal things, and she's like this investigator. She becomes he hones in on her powers.
I think I'll check it out.
Yep.
I was thinking about it anyway. It's right up my alley.
They're like some ragtag teenagers with no home, no family, no money. So he pays
Mod
them
Squad kind of.
He throws them some silver pieces.
Okay.
To solve groovy.
To go solve fucking Scooby Doo mysteries.
Mm-hmm.
I'm into it. Is there magic and shit? Kinda.
It's
like
not supernatural. It's got supernatural.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. Cool.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm into it. Right on, brother. Maybe we should. What do you think? What time is it?
It is 9:40 something.
9:40. Jesus Christ. Okay. Well,
9:50.
let's just bid everyone adieu. Check out nativehempextract.com. Enter code HOSO at checkout. Go down to Sweet Leaf in Farmington. Ask them all of the questions you have to ask about cannabis. Get you a brand new pipe. See if you need to get a medical card. If you need some body jewelry. If you want to go in there and just listen to them jam. Sweet Leaf in Farmington's a spot to be. And if you call James Carlton, 314-961-4800, and just let him give you a quote, I promise you, he's 85%. 90% probably going to save you money and get you better coverage. And if he can't, he's going to tell you. He's going to be straight up with you. He's not going to piss in your ear and tell you it's raining. He's James Carlton, okay? He's not some chump.
It gets fucking warm up here, Craig.
Yeah, I'm sweating my ass.
We got to talk to him about that.
I turned it down to 72, but I'm sure that one of our asshole tenant fucking neighbors.
72 is still a little.
Yeah, I know.
I'm a 69 kind of guy, and I'm not trying to be. Nice. That is a good.
No, I hear you though. That's a great temperature.
Hey, Saturday. Benton Parkade,
right next door to Cafe Piazza. Come on down, get you some food, play you some games, hang out, have a couple of cocktails. Come check out the new studio space if you want. And
yeah, that's another thing I want to mention. We're gonna try to rotate and let people come up here.
Yeah, we'll do a little shuffle.
Go out on the roof.
We'll go out on the roof.
See how many complaints we can get in one night. If me and you can do nothing and get a complaint, imagine if we get all of these motherfucking freaks here and we do something.
Agreed.
They'll probably just call the National Goddamn Guard. Because apparently, according to the voicemail I got in the conversation I had, we are some party animals up here.
Really?
I called you the next day. I was like, Craig, we are out of control.
Yeah, I was going to text. I wasn't
mad at all. Neither was the landlord, really.
Fuck them. Whatever.
Maybe they watch.
Cool.
52 people shared this tonight. It's possible.
Cool. Nice. 66 shares.
Shit.
All right, guys. I love you.
Wait, what's the code? for
code to get in is
you can either tell me that you're here for a vicious racket.
I'm here for the truth.
You're here for the truth, or you're here for a vicious racket with its arms around your children.
Yes, or
you're here for debauchery.
Or for a vicious racket.
You're here for degradation.
With its arms around your children.
I'm here for degradation and insanity. We're going to put a list of things you can say on Facebook right before Craig deletes it.
You guys have a wonderful evening. Good night.